You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog. Woo woo! My name is Kinsey. I am your host, and joining me today, we have one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media, and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Skip.
He's already so fired up. He was talking smack to Aqib before the camera started rolling. So we know he's going to have a whole day today. But next we have our Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib Talib.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
Fucking that shit today, Skip. Man, we ain't playing, man.
The king of quarterback breakdowns and top 5 passer in the history of USC Trojans is Cody Kessler.
Yeah.
I had to update that little intro, Cody, because I'm like, you're the king. You really are the king of the quarterback breakdowns. So I was like, I needed to update that. 3-time Pro Bowler and the Super Bowl winning safety, TJ Ward.
I'm back, baby.
Well, let's see. Checking my watch here. Superman has landed in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, here we go. Superman has landed.
He better start breathing his oxygen because it's hard to breathe up there.
Too bad we ain't playing golf. This is a fucking team game. Did his team land with him, Skipper? He came by himself.
He's got a very underestimated, underrated team.
Oh, okay.
We got the Avengers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you got the Avengers.
I hope he brought his squad with him.
You guys are the favorites now. The
betting
public swung completely around, right?
That worry you a little bit more? I thought you liked the underdog rule.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everybody was
It's like
picking
a
the fucking Broncos.
It's a 1.5.
Yeah.
That's
they gave the Broncos a point.
Vegas had to switch it up?
Vegas just balancing the books. You know, that shit don't never mean nothing. They just balancing the books.
It's going to be a good one, though.
It meant something the other day when he was the underdog, but now it's...
Now it's just
It ain't shit. Yeah. We supposed to be the favorite. You put us the underdog. Hey, that's fire to the flame. You know?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get into what we have going on today. So it is one of the most interesting playoffs that I've seen in years. I am so excited about this. So we're going to be talking about all the matchups that we have this weekend. Also, prior to the show, Skip, Aqib, and I interviewed the scientist that's going viral for his takes on the Niners. So that's going to be on our channel. He's talking about the power plant that's next to the Niner Stadium affecting all the injuries. So the internet is up in arms about that, and we got these scientists on our show. So check out that on our channel after the show. But for the rest of the show, we also have 25% of the league right now is without a head coach. So we're going to be covering the new updates and question marks around all of that. But starting with that, the Giants and John Harbaugh have agreed to a 5-year, $100 million contract. He made that money out of Baltimore. He's going to go get some cash. So the Titans ownership were reportedly set to fly to Baltimore to meet with Harbaugh, but the trip was canceled. He was set on New York. So the Giants went 4 for 13 this season and have only had 2 winning seasons in 9 years. But you know, our guy Richie always says Jackson Dart is a superstar, and maybe John Harbaugh sees that as well. They also have the 5th overall pick in the draft. So a lot to hope for the Giants. Maybe Aqib, give Harbaugh hire a letter grade.
The Giants now have a general. You know what I'm saying? I think they definitely got a general in the building, man. He knows what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? 12 playoff appearances. He is a few plays away from being in another chip. Have he won a chip? We don't know. But he a few plays away, a few seasons from being in another chip.
You think he can get the Giants to the Super Bowl in a few seasons?
Oh, eventually. The Giants going to be... The Giants and the Cowboys will start running the East soon. The Eagles, they had their run. They'll start going down. Then they group that the Eagles got, it'll start getting broke up. Everybody will start going to get paid. The Giants and the Cowboys, they'll run that division for the next 3-4 years. Next year, Eagles probably still be up there. The year after that, Giants, Cowboys finna dominate that thing. For sure. But he'll hire good coordinators. I feel like in the past, he know how to look at the talent he got. He know how to match guys with his coordinators. You know what I'm saying? You see what my team needs, put these coordinators in place, man. I think he'll hire good coordinators. He got a nice core, a young core on his team, man. He got good line. He got a quarterback. That's very important. He got a quarterback, man, and the respect level will be there. It won't be no guys texting, Skip. When he's that first team meeting, guys gonna be fully locked in because they respect him. You know what I'm saying? He's always in the playoffs, and he just got that fucking name, man. When your name Harbaugh, the guys gonna respect it out the gate. You know what I'm saying? So I get a nice B+, man. I like it. I think it couldn't get much better than Harbaugh, you know? So I like it, man. I like him to come in there, hire good coordinators, turn that thing around quickly.
Cody?
Yeah, I give it an A, actually. I'm with you on that, Aqib. I don't think it could have got much better for them. You know, this was a great hire by the Giants, that they went out and had a goal in place to bring in a great head coach that can change their organization, and I think they did just that. Now, I think that they had a list put together going into the offseason about candidates that they wanted to interview, and then as soon as Harbaugh got fired last week, he immediately jumped to the top of that list. Probably the rest of the teams that need a head coach.
Right. Everybody.
He was on the top of that list.
They took out
for good
the cap.
reason, though.
Right.
And, I mean, he's top 15 all time in regular season wins. He has 6 division titles. He's been to the AFC Championship 4 times, and he's won a Super Bowl. He's a proven coach that knows how to win. And I know the trend nowadays for teams is go out and get a young and up-and-coming coordinator to go be your head coach. The Giants don't need that right now. They've been going that route. That's not what they need. Outside of Pat Shurmur, who was the head coach for the Browns for a couple years, outside of him, they went Ben McAdoo, first-time head coach. They went Joe Judge, first-time head coach, didn't work out. They went Brian Daboll, had a little success, but he was a first-time head coach, didn't work out. They need a veteran leader that can come in and establish a winning culture from day one. And I think John Harbaugh is the guy to do that. And you said it, Aqib. They have a roster right now that can go out and win. They've got a great young group of players that they can build around. Got their quarterback in Jackson Dart. They got Cam Scatteraboo. They've got, in my opinion, Andrew Thomas, their left tackle, when healthy, one of the best left tackles in the NFL.
When healthy.
When healthy, which is important. But Malik Neighbors is going to be back from injury next year. And then on defense, you got Thibodeau, Burns, Abdul Carter. They've got guys on that roster that can win. And the reality is right now, since Tom Coughlin resigned, since he stepped down, they're 55, 109, and 1.
Yep.
They've only won 7 games the last 2 years combined. They're 13 and 38, Skip, over their last 51 games. That city, that organization is desperate right now for a winner, and I think them hiring John Harbaugh can get them over the hump, and they can do just that. Now, this offseason, Joe Shane has to be great with free agency. They got to get some help up front with their offensive line. They've got to get another number 1 wide receiver or a 1A, 1B situation across from Malik Neighbors. I think they address one of those positions with that 5th overall pick. They either go tackle or wide receiver, and then they get some help in the secondary. But in my opinion, I'm with Aqib. I don't think they're far off. These next couple of years, we could see the Giants being legit contenders in the NFC and making a push for a Super Bowl.
You buy?
Yeah, man, I agree with both my guys, man. I think along the lines what Cody said, the habit is to, in the last few years, a lot with these coaches openings is getting these young gurus, these young offensive guys that, you know, putting playbooks together. But at the end of the day, you need a general. You need somebody that's going to come in, be a leader of men, be consistent, have your team disciplined, and that's everything Harbaugh is. And another, you know, background of Harbaugh is special teams. You cannot count special teams out in the 3 phases which you need to win in this game. So I feel he's a corporate coach. He's going to put a team together, a coaching staff together, know where guys need to be, and the players, young players especially on this roster, they're going to have to respect him just because of what he's done. And initially I was thinking, you know, maybe he take away a little time away like Tomlin may, but then I look at another coach that had been in the place for a long time and just needed a refreshing start with a new team, Andy Reid. He was in Philly for a long time, and they were saying he couldn't win the big one. He'd get there, he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. But a fresh start with a young team, a new genre, and now he's back-to-back Super Bowl champions, got 3. So I think this is very, you know, in the realm of what Harbaugh can do and can be for the Giants. And the Giants, man, they've been yearning for winning for a long time since, you know, the Super Bowl they did win last time with the defense that they had and the pass rush that they had. And they're almost built in that exact same mold with the young guys, Burns and Thibodeau, and like you said. So this is an exciting time for the Giants. I got them a B+ as well, like Lee, just because of those reasons I named. But, you know, that NFC East is not, you know, stout at the top. Philly, they're descending down. You know, you got the Commanders who were in the NFC Championship last year. Of course, Dallas, they're building a great, you know, young offensive roster. We're going to see what they do on the defensive side, but that division is wide open. It's wide open.
All right. I respect and hear everything you guys just said, all fair, solid points. I'm just going to speak as a Dallas Cowboy fan. Die-hard, lifelong Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't fear John Harbaugh with the Giants. I'm going to give this a C+. Only because, for me, John Harbaugh is a little overrated in the big picture. And we talked about the other day, is he an all-time great head coach? And I know you said no, right? Because is he a guru on the offensive side of the ball? No. Is he a guru on the defensive side of the ball? No. He was a special teams coach who became a general. And I give you general because he looks the part, acts the part, plays the part very well. So on pure stability, I give you that he'll be an obvious upgrade over those disasters that they swung and missed on through the years. But is Ray Lewis coming back? You know, is he going to unretire and play for the Giants? No. Is John Harbaugh going to be able to trade for Lamar Jackson? Well, obviously not. So I look at his resume, and 2012, they went to the Super Bowl and they won it. Joe Flacco went insane in the playoffs. He went on, I used to call him Fluco in the regular season, but in the postseason, I don't know what got into him, but he got crazy hot in the postseason. And he threw the Hail Flacco that beat your Broncos in Denver, you'll recall.
I was with New England, but
Yeah, but I mean, they were going to be your Broncos.
it wasn't my Broncos.
Okay, they weren't. I got it. I got it.
Mine neither.
But they did get to that Super Bowl. Ray was kind of on his last legs, as was Terrell Suggs, maybe a little younger. Ed Reed on his last legs, but they're Hall of Famers, and Haloti Ngata was big for that team, like literally big in the middle of that line.
Yeah.
And it went down to the last throw of the game, and I thought it was pass interference on your man Crabtree, and Colin Kaepernick threw in the ball, and they survived, and they won. And then after that, the next
Fortunately.
5 years, they missed the playoffs for the next 5 years with the general as the head coach, John Harbaugh. And they actually missed the playoffs 6 of the next 13 years after the Super Bowl. And John Harbaugh went 4-7 as the head coach in the playoffs after the Super Bowl. And then Lamar fell out of the sky into their lap, last pick in the first round, thanks to the great Ozzie Newsome. And yet, with Lamar, John Harbaugh was the general and the head coach, 3-5 in the postseason, and they obviously lost the AFC Championship game at home to Mahomes and Kelsey. Okay, so this year I watched for the first time since Brady got hurt back in 2008. I watched the preseason favorite Baltimore Ravens miss the playoffs. That hadn't happened since 2008. I don't know. I look at what he just bought into, what he inherits. Okay, Jackson Dart. I love to watch him play, but he has to use his legs. He vows he's going to use his legs. It's just who he is. He has 4 documented concussions already in his first year. Do you trust that going forward? Because it's hard for me to trust it, that he's going to be able to stay healthy and play the way he has to play to be Jackson Dart. Mm-hmm. And Scatterboo just wrecked his ankle. He tore everything, broke his fibia. You know, it will not that he's a speed demon to start with, but will he be right away next year? I don't know. Neighbors tore his ACL all to hell. Will he come back and be Malik? I hope so, but I'm not sure. And that defense, you got those 4 stud high first rounders across the front, and they were 26th in points allowed. Well, to your points, can he go get the coordinator? Will he bring Rex Ryan out of retirement to coordinate the defense?
Please don't.
But I'm saying some big name guy, guru, and you'll say, because he had so many of those. He had Fangio and Pagano and Dean Peace and Martindale and Spagnuolo. He had them all in Baltimore. Yeah. He's good at that. He's good at delegating. He's the overseer, and as I've said, he's almost the equivalent of a game manager quarterback where he game manages as the head coach.
So was Jimmy that?
Jimmy
for the Cowboys?
Jimmy knew defense, and he coached the defense hard, but Jimmy created a force field unlike any human I have ever been around, ever.
But he was kind of the manager of the coordinators, the same as Harbaugh,
okay,
right?
All right, I will give you that, but is John Harbaugh on the charisma level, the impact emotional level? Is he a culture changer? Is he a difference maker? Will he walk in the building and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, this is different now? I don't know. I'm not sure I see that. He had great staffs, and when they were good, he had great players. And Ozzie Newsome he's an all-timer, man. And you want to talk about a pipeline maker? Is Ozzie Newsome getting talent for you, right? Okay. So I'm looking at that defense. It was 26th in points allowed, 28th in yards, and 25th in takeaways. You better get somebody in there who pushes some buttons, man, because this is the most underachieving unit outside of maybe the Steelers in pro football this year. So I don't know. It just doesn't scare me. I get it. I like it. I respect it, but I don't fear it at all.
But to Harbaugh point, man, they had a ton of injuries this year. You can't help it if your quarterback banged up. He got an ankle, a knee, a hip, a thigh, a hamstring. He banged up. I can't help that. My best player on defense, Matabuke, he out for the season. His neck messed up. In the biggest game of the season, I lose my best person in the secondary. He out of the game. So you can't control that kind of stuff.
And still a kick away from making it to the playoffs. And you started 1-5. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, leadership. It's stuff happening that he can't control. But I would say that from my career to now, he did make the Ravens a powerhouse. Like, as long as we've been talking football, but as long as we've been playing football, the Ravens has been a powerhouse. Through Flacco, through Lamar, they a powerhouse, period.
Even when they didn't
ain't never an easy game when you go there. That's always going to be a well put together team. And I know you say Ozzie Newsome, but if you think Harbaugh don't have nothing to do with the guys they're picking, it's going to be crazy.
I'm not sure he had a lot to do with the guys they're picking. He coached them.
Exactly. You see what he's doing in New York. If I come, I want the power. I want to be able to. I want a decision in everything. I'm sure he had a decision in everything in Baltimore. So he had a lot to do with building Baltimore as a powerhouse. I think he'll do the same in New York.
Yeah, and then you transitioning from different teams all the time, whether it was Ray Lewis and those guys you mentioned to Flacco and, Ed Reed was still there, and, bringing in Steve Smith and guys like that.
Roquan.
There's so many different groups of guys that you got to have under control and have under your thumb and make sure they all working together. So this team is young. I think they will, give him that, oh, my God, this is John Harbaugh when he walks in the building, just because they are so young and they really on, like, the mirage and the mystery of this coach, having like the cool coaches, they don't win. You can't be just this super cool guy, whether it's Dayball, and be friendly and then because you got to turn on the other side. So you got to be cold and straightforward, because when you don't, you end up like Sirianni being super cool, and when you got to inflict that discipline upon your team, then they snap back at you. So you got to have a straightforward mentality, and I think Harbaugh is going to have that. Like, I'm a good coach, I'm cool, you can come talk to me about anything, but there won't be no childishness, and there won't be no, accountability will be held.
Okay, but you did make the point. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But you did make the point, because you'd made it the other day. It's now a young man's game. You need somebody to come in and just light a fire with new ideas.
I do.
Okay.
And I think he do that with his coordinators. He let his coordinators come in with that. But he's not too old to run that room yet. You know what I'm saying? Pete might be a little too old to run that room.
Too old for sure.
He still got a little young juice, young energy, still lifting shit. You know what I'm saying? Gonna look the part in the front of the room. Like,
I got it. I understand.
He still could wear that general hat. Not too old, like Mike T. Mike T not too old to run a young room. You know what I'm saying? It's a fine line, but I think they still at that spot where they still can run a young room.
I got to defend Pete Carroll. I don't think he's run out of juice.
That's a Skip got for me.
Seriously.
Pete and he out.
He just older, Skip. It's like once you get to grandpa.
Yeah, you be like Gramps. I don't know.
Yeah, they gonna call you a grandpa. Like, you ain't even up no more, man. You got grandpa at this moment.
Gramps.
All right,
Gramps.
but that's a sorry organization right now. Run by Tom Brady. Just for,
I mean, Tom just got there. They've been trash since I've been playing football.
You get a young, relatable coordinator.
Let them be the young guys.
Yeah, but even, to your point, though, even some of these young hires for head coaches don't always work out. We just saw Brian Callahan fail miserably with the Titans. And Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins looked great early on, but then when shit hit the fan, it wasn't great because he didn't have that experience to lean back on. You bring in a guy like Harbaugh who's really seen everything. When he was in Baltimore, he can handle the good, he can handle the bad, and he can handle the ugly. So I like this hire. And then to your point, Skip, you talked about their defense struggling, and they've got to get someone to come in there and be a great coordinator. Their offense with Jackson Dart, someone's got to come in and find a way to get him to play a different style of football. Well, in the same sentence, you said he does a great job of hiring great coordinators. So that would give me confidence thinking he's going to bring in the right guy on defense, the right guy on offense to get them to where they need to be.
And this morale, man, that's where it starts. If we don't feel like we gonna be that good, we probably not gonna be that good. If we feel like, hey, we got a chance, and the city feel like we got a chance, that's step number one. I guarantee you, the New York Giants gonna be a hot commodity this whole offseason. People gonna pick them to win. it's going to look great before the season starts. Shit, to me, that's step one.
You think it's going to be similar to Chicago last offseason, where you bring in a new head coach and people start to pick them, and then
People start
see
to
it
say,
in real
oh, man,
time?
I think this team, it's just like, you just start to believe, man. That's the most important part
If
to me.
anybody can temper Dart's running and let him know that he need to calm down, it's Harbaugh.
I don't think though. Skip, I know
two-time MVP. That's a
Like,
running
bro, I done had
quarterback.
the best running quarterback ever. So you better calm
Feel
down.
me?
Yeah, right. You
don't
would be
think
like, you better listen.
Skip, you mentioned the 4 documented concussions. I don't think they were documented though, right? I think he had one concussion, but he had tent visits. Those aren't always concussions. I mean, I've been in the tent before because you hit your head, and then they ask you, what month it is, what day it is, what time it is. Then, knock those all out, boom, then you're back on the field. So those aren't always documented. But to your point, yes, he does. He's got to slow down a little bit. But we saw with Lamar under Todd Monken, a couple of years ago, he threw for 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So he can build a pocket passer as well. I mean, Lamar ran for 900 that year too, but he taught Lamar how to protect himself.
I think he's trying to get Monken doing some head coaching job. If Monken don't end up with a
interviewing elsewhere.
Right. If he don't get a head coaching job, he probably be in New York as the OC. And I think that'd be a great fit for Jackson Dart because
I do too.
That's what Monken do. He know how to design an offense straight for you. I'll let you use your legs and stuff. Just learn how to run your ass out of bounds, learn how to get down. And I think Monken would be a perfect OC for Dart.
All right, so
you see a Super Bowl for John Harbaugh in 2 or 3 years?
I see a playoff team.
Yeah.
You said a chip appearance.
A frequent playoff team. I can't call a Super Bowl
Not yet.
But I could see a frequent, just like the Ravens. They was a frequent playoff team. Every year, the Ravens in the playoffs. What they gonna do this year?
Okay, I just have this little voice in the back of my head saying, "Are you sure Harbaugh isn't a product of play like a Raven today culture? That was there before him."
He is that culture.
But who started that culture?
Well, I think Ray started it.
Ray Lewis?
Yeah.
A player?
Yeah, I do.
Come on, man. Ray is my guy, but come on, man.
Well, he was the leader of that franchise, man.
But who was the head coach of the franchise?
But he came
Billick?
a little later. Huh?
Billick?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what they won with Billick. They won
with Billick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was to me. It was.
I remember watching that hard.
A whole new regime came in, and
all right, well, shocker, Aqib and Skip are not agreeing. So, big shocker here in the arena, but 50% of the chat is giving that an A grade. So clearly,
the chat riding with Lee.
They're riding with Lee, and they're saying that was a great decision. I think there's a lot of hope for the Giants, but let's keep the ball rolling if you guys disagree, because we got the first game of the playoff weekend right here, okay? So the Bills head to Mile High to face Aqib and TJ's Broncos, and it was just a year ago when the Bills beat the Broncos in the playoffs 31-7, but Denver's defense is no joke this season. They have recorded 68 sacks, 5th most in NFL history. So the Broncos average 4 sacks a game, and the Bills are 0-3 this season when Josh Allen gets sacked at least 4 times. So you take out Superman, it's not good. So Aqib, Bills Broncos, who's going to win? What's the score?
Come on now, we know.
Come on now.
Game.
Come on
but
now.
I always say you need a athletic D-line, fast edges to contain Josh Allen. And we for sure had that. You know what I'm saying? You need a disciplined rush plan, and we got a disciplined rush plan. That's why we got the most sacks in the league. Send one guy, let him hunt. Everybody else, a couple other guys play the escape route. Everybody don't have to rush. We got our rushers, we got our escape route guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's covered. I think our D-line take this game over, man. They accepting the challenge. They know it's on them. I think our D-line, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen, John Frank, DJ Jones. I think they take this game over, man. We contain Cook in the run game. We contain Josh Allen when he tries to run. We can't let him take the game over with his legs, man. Our D-line to create a turnover or 2. And also, we'll be able to run the ball on their bottom of the barrel rush defense. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be able to run the ball on that defense. And
Cody's making some faces at that comment.
Cody can make all the faces he wants. You go look where that rush defense at. Go
Bottom of the
check it
barrel.
out.
Bottom of the
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
bottom of the barrel.
Where's your rush offense, though? You guys are 16th in the NFL.
All right.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
hasn't,
middle of the pack.
But it hasn't been the same without Dobbins. I like Harvey, but there's
might
been
be
a
back.
significant
Yeah.
fall off.
Don't hate on Harvey.
We got a plan for that.
We'll get to that.
I'll take a middle of the pack rush offense versus bottom of the barrel rush defense any day. I don't know what you would do, but expect our run game to crank up a little bit versus this bottom of the barrel rush defense, man, and expect Sean Payton to dial it up in the red zone versus this middle of the pack to bottom of the barrel red zone defense. You know what I'm saying? We've been saving some stuff, cooking up some stuff for this red zone, man. With all that being said, Broncos win the game 23-17.
What? Hey, this is my dog. This is why
You have that
we
same
do
score,
this. We
TJ?
do this.
Shit,
We
man.
got more than that. Just the way you got to win and the way you got to beat Superman, right? Contain rush. We
it.
talk about that. It ain't about having a pass rush, because if you get out your lanes and you don't contain, he going to get outside and make plays.
Exactly.
So when you rush, it's a scheme to your rush. You got to, like you say, sit one under, one come over the top. But make sure you keep him in the pocket, right? The run defense of Buffalo. Now, we may not have the best running attack in the league, but what we do have is a versatile running back, R.J. Harvey. And we seen what Travis Etienne did to them last week in Jacksonville, right? Another thing.
He lost. That's what he
Yeah, he lost, but he had 100 plus. He had 100 plus overall yards and a touchdown.
No, they do a good job.
So
Getting extension of the run game.
We have R.J. Harvey to do that, and in that mode, do that again. Zach Allen, he got to be big for us. We know we got Cooper and Benito on the outside, but Allen up the middle, we got to push that pocket and make sure it's tight in there for Josh Allen. Our secondary is better than Jacksonville's. Now, Jacksonville, you would say they came in and beat us. I ain't gonna call it a fluke win, but we had as bad of a game as we had. Bo was turned the ball over like he doesn't normally do, so that went against us as well. Trevor Lawrence last week, the plays were there to be made. He blew it. He panicked. He threw 2 interceptions, one early, one late, missed a 4th down conversion. That's not gonna get it in the playoffs, and that's because the pressure was on him. At home against Buffalo, all the pressure and expectations for you to win. And he dropped the ball. And when it goes, the Bills can't stop the run, and we allow the fewest sacks in the league. So we keep Bo Nix, pretty free. We're gonna do what we do, be methodical throughout the game, and when it's time to win, in Bo Nix and Bronco fashion, we're gonna win the game. I got a 24-17. Got one more point than lead.
I thought one of you guys would say like 35-7 or something.
Still the playoffs.
Why though, Skip?
Still
Why
the
not?
playoffs.
Come on.
Playoff football is 2 good teams.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you watched the games last weekend.
Come on, man. It's
Yeah.
playoff football. We probably
Playoff
ain't seen a
football.
35-7 game, but 10
for-
times this whole year.
Okay, so for the record, you two played for the Denver Broncos. You played for other teams, but you both played for the Denver Broncos and won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, and you have zero objectivity when it comes to the Broncos. But that's okay.
Nah, we just keep it real, realist.
They the number one
I've
seed.
always say I'm a realist.
They was the best team in
All
the
right.
AFC. Like, it's hard not to
They at
think that.
home for
Yeah.
good reason.
All right. I'm going to give you both this. I've slept on this game. I've thought a whole lot, probably too much about this game. Cody's going to unleash on this in just a moment, because he did pick the Bills from the start of the season. But even though I've told you for a good month, Josh Allen is coming for you at your place.
As long as all the other quarterbacks you named too.
Yeah, all
Everybody
right.
been coming for us.
Okay.
I said if we get Buffalo,
I'm going to say the betting public, you tried to under-publicize this, but the betting public is just like an avalanche on Denver. It's like a snow avalanche up in the Rockies on the Denver Broncos, the money that's coming in on the Broncos. So you got me there. The betting public is saying Denver, and more Denver.
Nah, Skip.
Yes, they are.
Skip.
To flip a spread from 1.5 one way to 1.5 the other way, it takes a lot of money and a lot of impact to do that. And the way it's going, I think it's maybe before the show's over, it'll be 2 or 2.5.
Nah,
Okay,
Skip.
that's
I'll
what's
keep
happening.
you
Don't try to play
updated on
that.
that one. I'll
Everybody's
keep
picking
you-
Denver. No, they're not. Everybody picking
Yeah.
Buffalo.
No, they're not everybody.
Everybody picking Buffalo, man.
All right, so here's the key loss for the Bills, and I'm going to point it out before I launch on this. But Jordan Poyer is out, and Jordan Poyer is a really good, really smart football player at the back end of that defense. and he is being replaced by Jordan Hancock, who's a 5th rounder, a rookie out of Ohio State, who did play quite a bit this season, but as I speak right now, Sean Payton's in his office doing this, and he's scheming up ways to sucker poor Jordan Hancock and take advantage of him about 5 times tomorrow. And to your point, Josh Allen, Superman, has just lost Gabe Davis and Joshua Palmer and Shavers as receivers. So I'm going to give you all that to start with. And Josh Allen obviously has a sore left foot and now a sore right knee and a sore ring finger that he banged on a helmet last week. So he's got all kinds of stuff going on. But to his credit, he sucked it up and he practiced full both days. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to stick with Buffalo only because I think, number one, you're underestimating their defense. It is very well coached. It has a bunch of veteran playmakers, and they're starting to get a little healthier because all of a sudden, Terrell Bernard, I think he's going to go, and he's a good player. And Ed Oliver tore his biceps tendon. I've done that before, and I know how hard it is to come back, but I think he's going to try to go, and he's a really good player. And on the receiving side, Curtis Samuel was the leading receiver in the game they beat your ass in last year. They beat you 31-7 at Buffalo. And the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos was Curtis Samuel, and I think he's going to try to go in this game by all accounts. They have come back 5 times in fourth quarters to match your 5 times that you came back in the fourth quarter. So they have equal magic. They can negate your magic with their own magic. And what they did at New England is still the story of the year to me, because everybody loved New England, and they go in there when you least expected it. They fall behind 21-0, and they said, watch this. And they go on a 35-10 run the rest of the game. And the defense rose up, and obviously Superman took over. And speaking of Superman, I just think he's been a man on a mission since that 2-point throw that he missed against the Eagles that cost me a dinner to you. But he had Shakir wide open, and he just missed him. And I kind of loved it because I said, he's going to take off from here and say, okay, watch this. And he does. He's acutely aware of his legacy. You complimented him the other day for being a really mature leader of the football team, because he didn't drink any Kool-Aid after they won at Jacksonville. By the way, a victory that I think is being really underrated. That was a hard game to win for anybody.
Victory, Jacksonville lost that game.
That was a good football team.
Jacksonville lost that game.
Anybody.
Now,
Jacksonville was so hot at home.
They was cruising for a bruising.
Were they? I don't think so. I don't think so.
They was cruising for a bruising.
they didn't have
So
experience.
Josh Allen is acutely aware that there's no Mahomes and there's no Lamar and there's no Burrow, and this is his time. And this is going to be his game because he will clearly be the best player on this field. And James Cook is going to be the best running back on this field because he did go for 120 against you guys up at Buffalo in the playoff game last year. And I don't know that your defense is that much better than it was a year ago. They had 200 total rush yards on your defense, and you can't tell me that won't slow down, dilute, maybe even negate your pass rush if James Cook starts cranking, and he can crank. I keep saying he's got the best feet between the tackles I've seen in the league this year. Nobody, well, he led the league in rushing. Yeah. They led the league in rushing as a team. So I don't think you're going to be able to deny that, and it's going to take the edge out of your pass rush. And Buffalo's offensive line is really good, underestimated really good. The left tackle, I think he's the best left tackle, and you guys had him on the show. So I think Josh is going to have more time to throw than you think. And I keep seeing people on television just rip their receiving core. Shakir is pretty good. And Brandon Cooks, Brandon Cooks is sneaky good. And Dalton Kincaid is really good.
Yeah.
And then I keep looking down the list, and there's Dawson Knox, and James Cook can catch it. And Keon Coleman, every game he catches one big ball. He caught one ball for 36 yards at Jacksonville. He's 6'4", 215, and he just gets loose all of a sudden, and Josh will find him. So now you've got Patrick Surtain. You say, you got the shutdown king of the league. I got you. But do they have Jamar Chase, or is there somebody where you say, oh, it's Puka? You know, because Patrick Surtain can take Puka away. He can just say, you can't have him, Matt. not today. But who are you going to take away? You're going to take Shakir away? Good. That's no problem. Josh will find 5 other guys for big throws. So in the end, I want to say this about your defense too. I've told you this before, and I looked harder at it last night. You haven't dominated or suffocated anybody since before your bye week, which was the last week in November. It's like you lost some edge on defense, because I keep looking at Washington. You gave up 419 yards to the backup quarterback. And then you weren't impressive at Las Vegas. It wound up 24-17. I know they kicked a late field goal, but it didn't impress me. And then Green Bay, you still gave up 362 yards and 5.7 yards per attempt on pass and run.
What we give up in the second half?
Well, you were down 23-14, and then they lost Micah Parsons and they lost Christian Watson.
Why they might lose Micah Parsons?
Why did they lose?
Because he got shook out his boots.
Well, he did. I agree. He got faked out, and he lost his balance, and he came down wrong. Yep.
Yeah.
Bo did that to him. Bo's really good at that. I give you that. But I still say, in the end, you're going to have bills to pay in this game. Bills to pay, and Josh is going to come collect from your defense in this game. So I got Bills in the end 27-24 for a dinner with you. For a dinner.
27,
We've been locked in. So
Yeah.
Okay.
ain't even nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills as well on this one, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not going to hate on Denver in this.
Please do. Please.
No, man, because I like everything Skip said is true. The injuries, some of those things are concerning, but I absolutely cannot wait to watch the Bills offense going up against this Broncos defense. It's going to be absolute cinema. Get your popcorn ready. I mean, the Bills have a top 5 offense. They have the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. Denver has a top 2, maybe the best defense in the NFL right now.
You're going to have some X and O breakdowns off this.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
This matchup. Why are you rolling your head? You go.
I mean,
You don't
really
think-
ain't no X and O's. You just got Josh Allen running around making plays, but go ahead.
So no, but
Right.
okay. So when you talk about that matchup, you guys always talk about matchups. 2 things it's going to come down to, and you guys talked about it a little bit. Denver's number 2 in rushing defense. We saw Buffalo last week go to Jacksonville against the number 1 run defense, and they struggled to get James Cook going. 15 carries, 46 yards. He averaged 3 yards per rush, well below his season average. That can't happen this week. They have to take some pressure off of Josh Allen. Yes, you want him to be Superman, but the reason that he could be Superman at times was because they could run the football consistently this year. They have to be able to do that. You guys know, though, that's easier said than done against this Denver defense. The second thing, though, and I think the key to this game, like you mentioned, Skip, is this offensive line not only has to protect Josh Allen, but they have to protect him for a long time. They have to give Josh Allen the ability to go from 1 to 2, because you're probably not going to get to 3 to 4 against this pass rush, but then be able to escape. You have to have those rush lanes. You have to allow him to get outside the pocket, because what Denver does a great job of, and you guys mentioned it, is a disciplined pass rush, and they're selfless. They don't care who gets the sack. They just want to make sure that they know that everybody's doing their job, and the guy's going to be there when the play breaks down. So those are going to be 2 big things. I am concerned, though, Skip, and why I said I'm not going to hate on this defense or hate on Denver, because I am a little concerned about the foot injury for Josh Allen and the knee injury, and now you have an injury to his throwing hand. He has been taking a beating towards the end of this season, and he's kind of limping along and figuring out ways to get it done. He did it last week against Jacksonville, but this is a different defense. Denver is going to get after him all game long. And then on the other side of the ball, man, Bo Nix has to be perfect in this game. He does, because I know you said they can run the ball well against Buffalo, and Buffalo doesn't stop the run. They give up some big plays, but you guys haven't ran the ball well since week 10 when J.K. Dobbins got hurt. I mean, he was on track for 1,300 yards. He was a difference maker. I like R.J. Harvey. Peyton does a good job of getting them some of those extended handoffs to where it's a swing pass, a quick screen, but the run game hasn't been consistent. They're 16th in the NFL in rushing offense, so I don't think they can just go into this game and say, we're going to run it at will. Bo Nix is going to have to go up against the number 1 pass defense that Buffalo has, and he's going to have to make big-time plays. He's been up and down with his consistency, but what I will give him is when it matters most, he steps up for his football team. So I think both teams are going to play well. I think Bo Nix plays well. I think Josh Allen plays well. It's going to be a great game, but I think the Bills end up winning 24-20 in this one.
You were trying to make a case for the Bills, but I heard a lot of cases for the Broncos there. I was
Like
like,
the
wait, are you
Broncos,
supporting
look.
the Broncos? I was kind of
He's
confused.
with the Bills, man.
on
But
the
He
Bills
was
a
like,
little bit.
look, I don't like. That's my whole thing. Is I go back. I watched tape. I watched tape on Buffalo's playoff game last week. I watched some of the Denver tape on the games they played earlier this year. I went back and watched the Jacksonville game. I'm not coming in here just make a hot take and say all this. I watched the film, and the film doesn't lie, man.
It's early, so you got to run.
Yeah, you got to ride with it. That's what I was sensing from his breakdown. I was like, I think he's just
two good
sticking with
football
his
teams,
pit.
man. It's going to be a
What
great
did you see on
matchup.
the touchdown pass to Kincaid? Do you remember the play where he fake blocked at Jacksonville?
Which one are you talking about?
Kincaid caught a touchdown
End zone.
pass. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
He's seen a screen and go, Skip.
it's a fake block. No, he fake block, and then he took off to the flag.
Well,
Yeah.
although Jacksonville does have a great run-stopping defense, they're middle of the pack to second half of the league in passing defense. So let's not forget that. We have one of the best secondaries in the league. So all that scrambling, just throwing the ball
You
up.
have the most penalized secondary.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But
Most
we got defensive
nothing wrong with
player of
that.
the year. We got
They
Riley
lost
Moss.
the
He
free
leads the
game.
league in pass breakups.
Yeah.
You know, now I will say the tight end position, where is Allen's outlet. You know, we got two safeties down at the same safety position, which Jones and P.J. Locke, you know, at the same strong safety
Locke could be
position.
there, though.
So Locke, he gonna play? Okay, bet. So he back. So, yeah, I mean, that is gonna be an outlet for Allen, but it ain't just throwing the ball up like you did against Jacksonville.
And then when you don't got a number one receiver for Pat to follow, Skip, that's what good D coordinators do, right? They load zones.
Okay.
So if you want a matchup, there you go. Pat, right
we
over there.
singling over here.
Yeah, we singled right here. Go
Everybody
ahead. Feel
gonna
free
be on the other
to
side.
throw it over here because this side is loaded. That's how you do when you don't got a
I
matchup. We
understand.
load the zone on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And
All right.
we just leave Pat right there. Do your thing.
And you're
like we did with the Packers. Go ahead, Pat by himself on his post. Feel free. And watch him come look like Superman.
Yeah, but to Skip's point, you just mentioned it, that touchdown to Kincaid, man, like, that's what Joe Brady does, is he's going to set you up,
It was
set
a
you up,
scheme.
set you up.
It was
and it was a great
beautiful.
throw, but he's setting that up all game, and we saw what the Bears do, too.
Man,
The same thing on that game-winning touchdown to DJ Moore.
Talking
They're
about the
setting
play
these
that
things up.
y'all talking about setting something up. My
That's what
son's sitting over here. We run the same damn bubble and go.
Yeah,
we
man.
do it like, bro. That's elementary, bro. What we talking about?
I
It
mean,
ain't
but
like
we
no
just
rocket
watched
science play.
two playoff teams fall for it in back-to-back weeks.
Man, that's
Yeah.
elementary.
We
But
fell
the big
for
thing
it
is
against
knowing when to
Jacksonville.
call it and situational awareness.
you just called it last week, so you best believe we done ran it 18 times in practice this week.
Yeah.
You won't
Some
fall
of
for
our
those
discipline-
elementary ass
So
shit,
that
bro.
was a hell of a play call, though, Skip, with the game on the line to Kincaid. I love it.
What?
You can't minimize that. That was a great play call. The timing
We
of
ran
it.
that same play this year on.
Yeah, we're going to be
I
super
believe it.
disciplined this week.
We ran the
Everybody
same play
runs it.
on
It's the
AU
copy
we did as much
for the
as-
NTX Mustangs.
knowing when to
We
call
did
it.
as much discipline loss against Jacksonville. That we lost all our discipline, went out the window that game. We correcting all that. Missed
And really, we
tackles,
just missed tackles.
all that.
And by the way, Riley gets mossed a lot. Riley Moss. He
Do
just
he?
gets
Oh,
mossed.
God.
Well, he got
Am
the
I
most
right?
pass breakups
Yeah,
in the league.
he lead the
Skip.
league in
That
pass
means getting
breakups.
a lot of
Yeah,
balls
he also
thrown to
leads
him.
the league in defensive
probably leads
PI.
And he also
target,
lead the league in like catch percentage against.
Yeah, I'm
them, too.
finna
So,
say,
I mean,
they probably
a
throwing
lot
it the
of scrapping
most when
going
you got
on. So,
defensive player of the
Hey,
year on
Skip,
the
when you
other
get
side.
when you play opposite the DMVP,
I
your
understand.
targets look like 100, 120.
gonna
You
be
get
up
100,
there.
120 targets,
Yeah.
you're gonna have more flags.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more touchdowns. And he
Yeah.
didn't even give up that many touchdowns.
I hope he took it easy in practice because he's going to do a lot of running
With
tomorrow.
who?
Hey man,
A lot of
hey,
running.
Coleman?
hey, that white boy can run, Skip.
Yeah,
Hey, that white boy can run.
Yeah.
I'm
Now
telling
he
you
like
that.
to win.
yeah.
All right, guys. The boys are divided. We got the two Bills. We got the two Broncos. The chat's divided.
I got to say one last thing before we go.
Okay.
These bye weeks are tricky to me. You know, they can really screw with your head.
They can.
They can. Where you think you got it going, and
Right.
then now I look back at what you've done, and you lost at home to Jacksonville.
Right.
And they went 8 of 15 on third down and went 4 or 5 in the red zone. And then you play 2 games at Kansas City against the Chargers. They're playing backup quarterbacks. So your defense is just taking the day off. And then all of a sudden you get a week off. And now you come into this game and there's a little rust factor. There's a little RPM factor where you're like, God, we got to get going, but you haven't been going. You haven't had to do anything. You haven't been tested.
See, Skip, but you
for a month.
say we took a week off, but we didn't take a week off. We took a week to run 7 plays. We're running our base 7 plays, and we gonna make them work. We just gonna keep on running them and get. It was a scrimmage for us, a live scrimmage, and we won it. So
Right.
that's not a week off. That's a real physical game. You think Harbaugh didn't want playing? They was playing.
You sound like you're.
He set his guys, and he played who he played, and we ran 7 plays, and we whooped their ass.
That sounds like whistling through the graveyard.
And then I know, Bub, did we have
I was
a bye
at
week?
the game.
Bub, did we have a bye
Man,
week?
you
when we
need
went
that
to
bye week to get healthy. Got a bye week. I don't remember the Broncos having the bye week losing.
Hey,
I mean, that sounds like a lot of made up situations, Skip.
Yeah.
If this happened and that happened and the bye week in
was
the 2
fucking
weeks
great for us, right?
We won them last 2 games you was talking about. We got the bye week. Hey, man, when you a good team, you've been in the playoffs like the year before. We had been in the playoffs. We got exited first round, just like the Broncos did last year. We came back and said, hey, shit, we got this bye week. We going to come in ready. We ain't slacking nothing. And then you already got Benito mad. You already got him mad. He had a bad game in the loss. He didn't make All-Pro. So you know he finna be turned up. Them boys finna be so turned up. Sean Payton gonna have them boys ready. Yeah, shit, it might be a route.
One thing you did say, though.
Are you changed your prediction?
It might be a route now. I'm gonna keep my score. Did we make
24-17.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
One thing you did say, though, is you talking about Trevor Lawrence, you said at home, a lot of pressure, the higher seed, everything on his shoulders. That sounds a lot.
No.
What's
The pressure
happening
is
with
on
Bo Nix
Superman
right now?
First of all, your name's Superman.
Yeah.
Then Mahomes ain't here. Burrow ain't here. Lamar ain't here. You better win the fucking chip right
you
now, or your whole legacy might be
That was
trash.
You don't think there's more pressure right now, too, on Bo Nix with
How
being...
can the pressure be on Bo Nix?
You got the number 1 seed. You're at home. You got one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Bo is the runt of his class. Right? He ain't the first pick, the second pick, or the third pick.
Okay.
He the runt of the
Still a
group,
first-round pick.
He the runt of the... Ain't no expectations for Bo. You know what I'm saying? That all the
Especially
pressure is
now
on
that- yeah, it's
the
on-
number 1 pick, the number 2 pick. Caleb got more pressure than Bo.
And Skip,
Like
just
nigga, we talking about Superman here, bro. We take if it was a pressure meter, that's 70% on Superman and 30% on Bo.
Okay, well, Caleb's 1-0 in the playoffs right now. Bo's 0-1 and struggled last year. If you have that 0-2
Well, what I'm
record, like
saying
you
is,
said,
it's
I think
more
there is a
pressure
little
on
bit of
Trevor
pressure.
from-
You can
than more when he
Sam
came into
Darnold
Denver.
shit. You can get good 8 years later and you would still.
So
Yeah.
when Trevor, this is what my comparison was. When Trevor came into Mile High, all the odds were against him.
Yeah.
So he came in relaxed. The Broncos, we had all the pressure against Bo per se, right? And
We had
our
11-game win streak.
right? 11-game win streak, all that. That wasn't the same case when he came into the playoffs.
Yeah.
All the pressure was on him. Everybody was looking at Trevor Lawrence. This is the home game. You're playing Josh Allen. You're the same type of quarterback.
You a
What
number one
gonna
pick.
Number 1 pick. And he came in, he threw a pick right into coverage.
Like
right into
the worst
coverage.
pick
He
he threw
failed
his
the
whole life.
4th down conversion. If you ask me, well, Josh Allen wouldn't have failed that. That 4th and 2 in the red zone, you think Josh Allen not going to get that first down?
Also, to Skip's point, so Sean Payton is 4-0 in his career playoff games after first-round buys.
Hello.
And he do this shit.
So
Hello.
Okay.
he is
Give
on
him
those
the number one
buys. He's
seed.
getting them boys ready.
Give him the number 1
So
seed, he go to the chip.
So who is seen as the weakest link on the Broncos? Who is the weakest?
Ain't no weak link.
Well, it's Bo Nix. Everybody would say,
no,
it's Bo
I would
Nix.
say it's the
Bo
running game right
Bo
now.
Nix
That's
is the
argument.
reason why that O-line is ranked so high. Because he's getting out of trouble that a lot of quarterbacks, most quarterbacks except Josh Allen, can't get out of. Now, Josh Allen, he looks more like Superman because he's bigger and he throwing guys off him. Them guys coming through, they not even touching Bo Nix because he gone.
All right, boys.
So, bottom line, be honest.
Yeah.
Which quarterback do you trust the most in this game? Josh
Bo
Allen
Nix.
or Bo Nix? You trust Bo more than Josh.
He ain't going to turn the ball over.
I trust
That's
Josh
what I
Allen
do.
more, but this is a team sport.
Okay, but it's a quarterback game too. That's
You know what?
It is.
My trust level with Josh Allen is, yes, he's Superman.
Even
Yes,
though-
I feel like he's the MVP of this season. But I don't trust him because he'll go out there and be Superman and fumble the ball like he did against Philly and it go back to the other side of
And
the field. So that's what I
the
don't
losses
trust.
that the Bills have had this season are
That was
against
a
all the
sack.
good defenses. You have the Eagles, the
Exactly.
Texans. It's clearly, if you shut down Josh Allen, if you're getting pressure on the quarterback, the Bills cannot prevail.
That's
so
that's
that
the
is why
kryptonite right there.
I'm backing the Broncos,
Athletic
boys.
D-line.
Let me guess.
I'm going with the
The
Broncos.
chat says 100% Broncos, right?
Yeah, probably 50-50.
Nah.
No.
55% for
Yeah.
the Bills.
There you go. We the underdogs, baby.
At home.
But I've been right
Underdogs.
with the Broncos.
Cody convinced him.
There we go.
Breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like
baby.
being the underdogs at home, man.
Love it.
That's damn near the
I'm mad they changed it. Why y'all
the
changed
trek
it?
to the chip, man.
Why y'all
Man,
changed it?
What they say? That we was the underdogs at the crib against New England, right?
Hell yeah.
Something like that.
Hell yeah, we was underdogs against Superman
Yeah,
too.
yeah, oh,
You feel me?
yeah.
In
All-
the chip,
the
we was
GOAT.
underdog against Superman.
The GOAT.
You know what I'm saying?
The chat finally got one right.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm going with the Broncos. I've been going with the Broncos, but let's move move on, okay? Lamar Jackson did not even make the tournament this year. So this man, he's got a record for the most wins by age 25. Most 100-yard rushing games by a QB in NFL history. And, of course, a 2-time MVP. That is Lamar freaking Jackson. So there's a lot of rumor that John and Lamar didn't see eye to eye. And, obviously, the Ravens took care of that. So the Ravens owner had this to say about the hiring process and if Lamar was going to have a say.
That's a joke to him.
A lot to say, but he has no power.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
I have the power. They have opinions, and I want them all. I care about my players very much, but I can't give them power.
He said, I have the power. That was some big dick energy. Skip, how much input?
I got the power.
I got the power. How much input should Lamar have on who the Ravens hire as the head coach?
By the way, I know for a fact that Lamar and Harbaugh did not see eye to eye, and that was at the heart of the clash that led to Harbaugh's exit. And Bisciotti did say in that same media session that he asked Lamar's opinion on whether Harbaugh should stay, and he said that Lamar said probably not. I just think he was just trying to protect Lamar a little bit. He said definitely not.
Fuck no.
Okay. So should he have input? He should have veto power. He should have final approval power over who that coach is. That's what should happen. He should be able to say yes or no, and he should have steady input, as Bisciotti said he will. Bisciotti said, I want him in on every coaching interview. Well, they've interviewed like 20 guys, and I don't think Lamar sat in on every one of them, but he said on all the key ones, Bisciotti said, I told Lamar, he said, I'm paraphrasing his quote, if I have to fly my ass from Florida up to Baltimore for the interview, you're going to fly your ass up, and I'll send the plane for you, Lamar, to be there for all the key interviews, I'm sure. So Bisciotti was just on fire in this interview. I'd never heard him like that before, but he doesn't speak very often. And it came across like he was saying, we have a new sheriff in town, or I should say back in town, because he hasn't really been around in town for a long time. So now Harbaugh, the general, is gone, so he's taking back power. But when in the end, when he said, no, I have the power, not Lamar, I didn't love it. I don't think Lamar's going to love it. And he's wrong to say that, because whatever is about to happen, it should be contingent upon Lamar's approval for a fact. And I know every owner says you can't let the players run the team. Okay, this one you should. Oh. This one should have won 3 MVPs, could have won the one last year over Josh. And he's it. He is the leader of that locker room in that franchise. And because he was clashing with the head coach, that's what happened. That's why this thing fell apart this year. And from that point forward, you better hand him back the power. You better say. Yeah.
Skip, that sounds crazy to me. Like,
okay.
That just sounds absurd to me. Like, so he might as well be the head coach, right? We wouldn't make Lamar the head coach.
Okay. Well, you better have somebody that he can vibe with.
That's one thing. I can have somebody you can vibe with, but me as an owner, if I own the team, I'm like Bisciotti, bro. I'd be damned if I let an employee pick another employee of mine. I'm the owner of this motherfucker. It's my job first to pick 2 guys who mesh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I pick 2 guys who mesh, and then it's your job to fucking mesh. It ain't your job to beef and beef. Then you not a leader if you beefing with the other leader. That's not a leader to me. Like, that's beyond me that Skip Bayless would say that. That's the reason they lost.
I just said that. I stand behind it.
I don't see how that happens. That's not a leader with me. A leader to me is, even if I don't fuck with this man, let me get my mind right, go up in this room. Jim, baby, what's up, baby? Let's go. You ready to hey, let's go, baby. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to fake it. I'm faking like I got the bacon. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that. I'm gonna put on the front until I get home, roll up. God damn, he get on my motherfucking nerves.
But did you feel like that?
To my wife and shoot you about it. But when I go there, you gonna think I love you, fam, because this is my fucking job. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get that part. That's what a real leader would do. If it was my organization, he had 0 input on it. This the guy I picked. I think he can mesh good with you.
So was John Harbaugh more important than Lamar Jackson?
Fuck no.
No.
Hell nah.
Okay.
It was both of them. That's why it wasn't just Lamar. it was if Harbaugh beefing with Lamar, you doing the same thing that I'm saying right now, bro. That's not what a leader do. Why the fuck is you beefing with the quarterback?
Right, yeah.
Like, it got to be both of y'all, bro. We got to do this shit hand in hand. That's the only way we going to win. You know what I'm saying? You think Coob and Peyton ain't beef? We seen them fucking. Peyton was like, I'm not fucking going under center. Yes, the fuck you is. We seen them beefing live at OTA, did we not?
Live.
And then look, by the time we went home and by the time we got back, we was in pistol. We was in that pistol, and we pistoled that bitch straight to the chip. And they got along. They found a way. They found the middle ground. We're going to run this offense, and we're going to find a middle ground. That's what leaders do. You know what I'm
Peyton
saying?
had a bowl. He was decorated. He had a chip, right?
But he ran the he was new to the franchise, but he was just as much right here as Lamar is. You feel me? Figure it out, bro. Y'all the leaders. Y'all got to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't have no input with me, man. I'll find a guy who I think, I know Lamar, you raised him. You had him for 8, 9 years, however long he been in the league. You know what kind of guy he is. I know what kind of guy can mesh with him. I'll find that guy. I had Lamar had input on who the OC is, maybe. You know what I'm saying? This is what he run this kind of shit. What you think about it? I let him, that's the guy you going to work hand in hand with. But the guy who going to be running my building, I got to pick that, baby, for sure.
Would you pick Brian Flores?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the exact person I'll be going to get.
You've been saying
That's the exact person I'll be going to get if
I believe Lamar would be all in.
And Lamar fuck with him. That's why I know. I'm like, you'll fuck with this.
And I think Bishotti said it right. He said that, and that was just him being blunt, is where he'll have some input, he'll have an opinion, but at the end of the day, like Aqib said, this is my decision. This is my organization. You know, I'm deciding who's going to run this football team. But I agree with what Aqib said. If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm in those conversations about who's going to be calling plays. Are you going to get a head coach that's going to be a play caller? If not, who's going to be the OC? Are we going to stick to a similar type of offense that we've been running that's tailored to my play style and also benefits Derrick Henry really well in the run game? Those are the questions that I want to know, because even though this year he struggled, under Todd Monken the last couple of seasons, Lamar has been unstoppable, man. I already mentioned it earlier, but in 2024, 41 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, 4,100 yards. Oh, yeah, and by the way, he ran for 900 yards as well and 4 other touchdowns.
And he finished second to Josh Allen.
Yeah, and then the year before, Skip, he finished first in the MVP voting. He won MVP in 2023. So my biggest question, if Todd Monken is out of town, which it sounds like he's gone, obviously, if I'm Lamar, I'm asking who's running this offense and what does their scheme look like and how's that going to benefit us on the offensive side of the ball and get me to where I would need to be and become a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Lamar in every meeting, but he may not have any judgment in my decision. Like, we all have kids, right? And I used to do this when I first had my son. I'd be like, yo, what you want to eat for dinner? And he'll give me something he want to eat.
Right.
Same thing. I say, hey, I'm not doing that no more. You eat what I put on the table, because you don't always know what's best for you. And this is the same situation with Lamar and the Ravens. So I'm with Steve, like, yo, I'm the authority, I'm the power. I may even make you feel like you have some authority and some power. In the back of my head, you don't got none.
Right.
You don't got no say in nothing I do. This is my team, this is my house, and I'm going to run it as I see fit. So as far as, you know, being a professional, like Lee was saying, you got to come to work to do a job. We're all getting paid by the top man to get along. We getting paid to get along. So if you the head coach, you the older individual, you the older, say, brother, sister, you have to lean on that maturity when you're dealing with your quarterback. There's no way my coach should be beefing with my quarterback because I'm the coach. I'm looking at you as a younger sibling or even a child. Like, hey, he just a child or he just a younger sibling. I got more maturity. I got more experience. Let me handle this a certain way. So there's no way your head coach should be beefing with any player at all. Like, that's beyond me.
Beyond me.
That's beyond me.
Figure it out.
So, yeah. I say, if anything, no more than 25%. Like, I'm the owner. I see what's going on. I know football. Like, you know, you the quarterback. You know what you like, but I know what's best for you, and I know what's best for my team.
Okay, so if Bishotti picks somebody that Lamar just doesn't like, and Bishotti comes to Lamar and says yes or no on this guy, and Lamar says no, you're going to just hire him anyway?
Well, I mean, you may not like him, but he's going to be good for you.
Asked, then
you may not like this broccoli, but it's good for you.
That would be a crazy conversation to be like, this guy or this guy, he says no, and then you're like, go hire him the next day. I don't think it would happen.
I don't think it'll go like that, but if it did go like that, then I don't think you should hire him.
You talking about Jimmy Johnson. They didn't like Jimmy Johnson when he first got to Dallas.
No.
But he was good for them, and they won them chips.
The veterans didn't like him. The young players loved him.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, say, hey,
The veterans, that's them the people who
That's
matter.
Lamar right now.
To me,
He's a veteran now.
Like the veterans,
because he
that's
held
what
it to a
things matter.
standard.
Who cares what the young guys want? The
Okay,
veterans.
so Jimmy came in and said, I want defense on one bus and offense on the other. And the veteran said, that's high school. You know, like
Defense on
right.
one bus,
All right.
offense on the other. What
Yeah.
Jimmy say?
that Jimmy said that's the
Yeah,
way
well,
it's
that's
going to
what
be.
we-
That's what we're
That's
doing.
what they did. They did that shit all the way to the
And,
chip.
and Jimmy started running asses out of town.
After the
that.
two championships.
Right?
Got two
Jerry
chips.
did Jerry ask Troy Aikman, "Do you want Jimmy?"
No, but
Fuck no.
But,
He ain't-
but he hired Jimmy before they picked Troy. So
I mean, did he ask? Did Mr. Bolin ask Peyton, "Do you want cool?" Like, I doubt that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because they was like this at first. They found middle ground like professionals, and it worked out.
but where'd Coop been
And Coop-
before that? What was his
Texans.
resume? Was he?
Texans. He playoffs?
Texans?
Yeah, he
he
had
was
Matt
at the Texans.
Schaub.
He was the
And
he
he
was
had-
the head coach.
Man,
Yeah.
he had Schaub them in the playoffs
In the
with
playoff
Andre
deep.
and them looking like
Okay.
outside zone
Almost
heaven.
to the chip.
Hell yeah.
AFC champion.
They just
Yeah,
kept,
they did.
they just kept running us in New England. We kept sending their ass home.
Okay, all right.
Well,
But you know some discrepancy because, like you said, that's that outside zone. That's not what Peyton run. Peyton ain't trying to reach no C gap, handing the ball off.
But they found middle ground like
Exactly.
gentlemen, like
And got that
professionals. You know what I'm
chip.
saying?
70% of the chat says Lamar should not have a say
Wow,
in the
I'm surprised
hiring.
by that.
So we'll see. But what I do know is I want to see Lamar back at his A game because he's incredible to watch.
too, man.
So,
Yeah, same.
yeah, good luck to Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. But let's move on to another interesting game this weekend. We got the LA Sunny Rams head to
Ooh.
Chicago this weekend, and I'd like to just show you a short clip of what Chicago looks like right now because, dear Lord, you were to throw a football at this?
There ain't gonna be no throwing.
Hey,
You know, I've lived in LA
Where
for a
is
very
that,
long
the field?
time, and I don't think I could go to Chicago and handle that. But Matt Stafford is 1-9 when the temp is 40 degrees or lower. Not looking good for Matt Stafford there, but we are talking about the LA Rams, who are second in points allowed and top 5 total offense. The blizzard may not be enough to take down this Rams team. So, TJ, I need to know, Rams, Bears, who wins? What's the score?
Hey, and I like that you threw that stat out, second in points allowed. They ain't been second in points allowed in the last 3 weeks. They've been giving up 27 points per game. And they didn't close
That's
that one out in Carolina so well either. I know everybody was raving about the numbers Matt Stafford done threw up this year, but I judge an MVP by what you do in crunch time and can any other quarterback take a team to the playoffs. And I think the Rams will be in the playoffs with any other quarterback, starting quarterback, if you ask me. He gave away the game in Carolina. The guy dropped the interception. He threw another.
Puka broke it up.
Puka broke it up.
Puka broke. Either way, he threw a pick
I
to
know.
end the game.
He
No,
threw
no,
a
he
pick.
threw a dot.
He threw a
Dot on that back shoulder, though.
No, the dot.
To the tight
That was
end.
later, second opportunity. You know you drop interceptions, the next play you're going to score on offense. So I give him that. But even, you look back, I always go to this, to the Seahawks game. Lit the scoreboard up. When it was time to make the play to win the game, to go down and score on the last drive, he couldn't do it. But I'm going to get away from Matt Stafford. I'm going to go to the defense. Pass rush hasn't been how it was in that first 3 quarters of the season, and they secondary is giving the buns up. Secondary is giving the buns up. So, you know what? The way the Bears have been playing, defense didn't have any turnovers last week and still won the game.
But they
That-
still gave up 27 points. They gave up 42 points to the Niners.
Who, the Bears?
The Bears defense. You think they're on fire right now?
Well, they didn't they didn't have no turnovers and they won the wild card game at home. Right? No turnovers. We said that the only
because the kicker went
miss-
AWOL.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
all
Yeah,
the
you
reasons
still gave
they
up
still
27
won.
and-
They
and
beat
40.
They gave up 27
They
that
beat
game.
just like the Rams.
Yeah.
They beat the most explosive offense right next to the Rams in the NFL. Correct or incorrect? Okay, I'll say correct. Since ain't nobody else gonna answer, I'll say correct. The Bears, man, they doing something special right now. Cardiac Caleb, 25 points in the 4th quarter, amazing. Now he does get started slow, but I think that with the run game, it'll work a little bit better this week against the Rams, especially DeAndre Swift being, able to pass and run and catch out the backfield.
Yep.
No, they haven't been getting to the quarterback that well, but the pressure's been there. They haven't been getting sacked, but the pressure. And I think this week they're going to create turnovers because Matt Stafford likes to give the ball up as well. He likes to give the ball up. He threw a pick last week on a covered route. He was covered. He threw it. anyway. So I think the Bears have at least 2 turnovers this week, and it's in Chicago. They got to go all the way to Chicago again. You hop on the flight, go back from Carolina. Now you got to hop back on the flight, go back to Chicago. It's a lot going on, man. So I got the Bears, man. I got the Bears 26-23 at the crib.
The Bears are ranked 25th in points allowed per game.
Yeah, so
That's the
not
whole
his-
season.
So that was
That's
his
the whole
point,
season.
but at least
that's what I was gonna get to. So I'm gonna go with the experience in this game, man. I'm gonna ride with the Rams because of the experience. It's 2 explosive offenses, 2 just okay defenses, in my opinion. And when I looked, the Rams was 10th in scoring D. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't second. They was 10th in scoring D. That's, it's not too bad. But the Bears are 10th from the bottom in scoring D. They damn 22nd, 23rd or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So they give up the buns, as Bubba say, more than the Rams. You know what I'm saying?
They take the buns
But
back.
you know what?
Yeah, they take the ball away. They do.
They rely on that.
I hate
That's-
looking at a whole season of defense sometimes instead of just looking at like the back half.
Yeah.
In certain situations, you got to look at the back half because them first 6 teams is finding themselves. They don't know what the hell going on.
But I mean, the Bears just played in the Niners, gave up a 40 ball and lost.
Yeah, they
Like,
sure
you know what I
did.
mean? So that's the back half.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
They still positioned to
both
win that game,
defenses is mediocre, if you ask me.
Okay, you
know
can
what I'm
say
saying?
that, for
it's
sure.
okay defenses and 2 explosive offenses. That's why I just go with the experience, and I think you can run the ball on Chicago. I think that's what you can do well against them. It's going to be a fucking blizzard. It's going to come down to the teams who both of them going to be toting the ball. And I think the Rams' run game is really underrated, man. They got a very successful run game, in my opinion.
See what the Bears did to Jacobs last week?
I know. I know the Bears could tote it. You know what I'm saying? We know they can tote it.
Stopping Jacobs and Green.
Yeah.
Man, Jacobs got that Todd Gurley knee, man. Bone on bone.
And I like LaFleur, but his scheme isn't Sean McVay's run scheme.
Man, they from the same tree.
This is father and son.
No.
This is father and son. You're the son.
Same tree doesn't mean you're at the
come
you're
on,
not
bro.
the top brand.
He started this shit. He at the top of this
I
shit.
get
You know
all
what I'm
that,
saying?
but they did still put their money up though.
Man, I like Stafford and McVay to just get in the cold, to just run the ball, quick passes, to stay steady and quick screens, stuff that you can do in the blizzard. See, the Chicago Bears, they more play action downfield. It's going to be hard to do that shit in this blizzard.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Rams offense is tailored to that blizzard a little bit more than Chicago's is tailored to that blizzard. I think they get a lot of first downs. They control that clock, keep Caleb off the field, and contain him in the fourth. Cardiac Caleb, he going to do work in the fourth. I think it's going to be a close game, but I like the Rams to win it, man. I think the Rams win it
Really?
30-24.
They're going to get to 30.
30.
Right.
Yeah, I think the
said
footing
20,
gonna be
okay.
bad, man. It's gonna be a high scoring, a lot of rushing, some turnovers on both ways.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an ugly game in that blizzard, man. Ugly game in that blizzard. Quick passes,
Bears toting.
run game.
Yeah, it's been really cool watching Chicago this year, what they've been able to accomplish with Ben Johnson, with Caleb. I think they have a bright future, and I've been rooting for them all season long. But I think that comes to an end this week. I'm riding with the Rams also on this. I think they get the job done. I'm with you. I think it's going to come down to the run game. Who's going to run the football better in this weather? And Sean McVay is so good at using both of those backs with Corum, with Kyron Williams coming out in that 13 personnel, using multiple tight end sets. You can insert the wide receiver in the C gap to block the safety that's rotating down on the backside. He just does so many things well, and he accounts for everything in the run game. And then when you do that, we can go play action and do a 5-yard pass that's going to go for 15 or 20.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a shot down the field. We can do that quick, fake 5 sets, put your foot in the ground, and then hit Puka on a quick little 8-yard in cut.
Right.
Let him take it for
12
40.
yards,
And then you
yeah.
just keep stacking those plays on top of each other. But then on the other side of the ball, man, I don't want to take credit away from Ben Johnson. The way that he schemes up the run game, too, with Swift and Monungai, I was a huge fan of when he was at Rutgers. I watched him in college. I am not surprised the way that he's playing right now. But the way that he schemes up the run game, too, and the way he gets in those 21 personnels where he'll put both of them on the field at the same time with one tight end, getting those triangle looks, show you 3 different looks off of it, then go play action and let Caleb run. It's tough. It puts a lot of stress on the defense, but I do think the Rams run the ball better this game because Chicago has given up a lot of yards this year. And you mentioned it, that they live and die by those takeaways. The Rams protect the football. Only 15 turnovers this year. That's 4th best in the NFL. This isn't a team that comes out and turns the ball over religiously. So I think it's going to be great. I think the key factor in this game, though, is can they contain Caleb Williams in the pocket? He is special. He has great arm talent, and his escapability is what makes him a dangerous football player. Back at USC, Skip, they called him Houdini, and now everyone's seeing in the NFL why, but it's going to come down to the Rams' 2 Pro Bowl edge defenders, Jared Verse and Byron Young. They cannot allow him to get outside, and what Caleb does a great job of is he'll drop back, start to sell like he's going forward, get you to commit, to buy in, put his foot in the ground, do this little back pedal, and then get on the edge. If you let him get on, and it's right or left. It's not just to his right. He can get to his left. We saw that 4th down throw he had against Green Bay where he's both feet off the ground and threw a dot to keep the game alive. So they've got to contain him in the pocket. I expect, too, Ben Johnson to have some more quarterback design runs with this weather with Caleb Williams this week. So you now have basically 3 running backs. But, yeah, I think it's going to go back and forth. I think both coaches are going to have their teams ready to go. But I have the Rams winning 21-17.
21-17. By the way, quick point of order. You were saying that the father of this is Sean McVay over LaFleur, right?
In their situation,
Yeah,
I know,
Okay,
I know it's
but
other guys involved.
the grandfather, the
Shanahan,
godfather was Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, it was.
Mike, okay.
Yeah.
His
Just for the
situation,
record.
he's the
I
father, he's the
understand.
son.
I got it.
It's a long tree.
Okay. I saw where earlier this week Alex Smith said that Sean McVay and Matt Stafford might hang 50 on this Bears
I'm
defense.
telling you.
And then you saw that weather, right? Not in that.
That's
No.
disrespectful.
So I looked at the weather last night. This is a 5:30 Central Time kickoff at Soldier Field, so it's a night game. 3 degrees at kickoff with 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. So the wind
ain't so
chills
far.
could be like minus 20, and it almost harks back to a game way before your time, but the Cowboys played a championship game at Green Bay that was called the Ice Bowl. It was minus 48. It was so cold they shouldn't have played football. It was unfair to even try to play football with human beings in that weather, and they stole it from us 21-17. This is going to be about as close to the Ice Bowl as I think you can get. Well, they ain't hanging 50 on anybody in that weather because Matt Stafford, my stat says he's never played anything below 20 degrees. So if it's 3 degrees at kickoff, he's going to have a hard time, man. And they're going to have to be all run, short pass. And I will say this about Caleb. Yeah, he can be Houdini. He's like a freak of nature to me. And I've said that he's been more consistent on the impossible passes than the routine ones. This is the night, this is the game where Caleb's going to have to make his layups as well as hit logo threes, right? Fall away threes from the logo. This is a layup game where you just have to take little bits at a time and control the football. And I just think Mother Nature loves the Bears because this is Mother Nature is saying, Bears, I bless you. This is the one where it's just going to be so hard for the Rams to come from. It's been out here in Southern California this week. It's been 80, 83.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And hot.
Okay, yeah. Okay, like crazy hot. And so the Rams will have come out of that. I know Sean will get him as prepared as he can for what's about to hit. But this is going to be an onslaught of North Pole. This is serious, hard, bad weather. And did anybody notice Colston Loveland the other night? I mean, you want to talk about a coming out party?
Yeah, I was going to get to that next.
He been balling for the last few weeks.
Okay, he has, but he caught 8 for 137. You don't think he's going to be a big, bad target in this game at 6'6", 250? You can just flip it to him?
hard.
I mean, it
They've
ain't
had
really flipping it to him, though. He
good
catch deep.
He does everything.
Corner routes.
Oh, yeah.
You call the old
corner
school
routes.
pop
Like,
pass.
You know,
I don't know
flood
if
concepts.
Exactly, bro.
Don't think they ain't see that RPO where my dog Price was hitting the Rams with the little dumpers.
Okay.
He was going crazy with them in that game.
All right, so I love Puka and Devontae, and I got you. You know, they're really good. But the deeper receiving core is Caleb's. You give me Loveland, and then you go DJ and Rome, and Luther Burden has come alive, man. And Zacchaeus isn't bad. He's just a shifty, shrewd little slot receiver. And then Cole Kmet's not bad. So all of a sudden, you got weapons, man. And Manungai and Swift, they can run it. They got explosive weapons with the guru calling the play, who's proven.
You don't like Parkinson and Higbee?
Okay, not like these guys. I think Colston Loveland's going to be the best tight end.
I didn't see the catch Parkinson had last week. That's better than any catch you could find for the Bears. Anyone.
Hell no.
You got me fucked up. He got the best
Hell
catch of
no.
the year.
That was a good catch. He two hands on the rock. That was a good
Bro, he
catch.
spent 2 hands.
Yeah,
Coach
he's supposed to catch that big.
Bro,
Man,
you won't find.
Big Goofy just fell. Couldn't keep his. It was
Bro,
a
he
good catch
spent
though.
in the
It was a
full.
good catch.
He did it. If you run it
It was
this
a
way,
good catch.
I back shoulder catch
It was
the
a
ball.
better
end
throw.
up-
It was a better throw. It was a better throw.
Bro, that's a tough ass
But I
catch.
seen Loveland snag some. He snagged some. And then like Skip said,
Show me a better
Doomsday
catch
Burden.
than Parkinson had last
You know what I'm
week.
saying? Doomsday Burden and more. Whew.
You taking them over Devontae and Puka?
It's 3 of them. Yes, I am.
Bro, God.
I am. I'm
What
just
the
saying.
fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't
There's
think
not
I'm
many
gonna do that.
receivers.
I'll say that
Bro,
to your point,
take
though.
a
Look, it's gonna be cold. Levante Hammy is gonna be stuck. He ain't gonna be able to run with that
Man, that
hammy.
hammy healed,
In the cold, boy, that hammy finna pop. May pop doing warm up.
The good
Man,
thing
they
they
have
do
you
though
so
with
healed.
all those weapons is they don't force feed any
No,
of them.
they don't.
You better come play in
all
the
4 of those
sweat.
guys
You better have some
more than 40
Rams
receptions
sweat
each
out
and more
there.
than 600
They do.
yards
They
each. They
spread
spread
the
the
wealth.
football
They-
around.
they
They
do.
do a really good
And it's
job. of
about
that, yeah.
physical running game. And I like the Rams backs. I like both of them,
For what it's worth, though, and I know it's not quite that weather, but they did go to Philly last year, the Rams did, in the divisional round in freezing temperatures.
Yeah,
Come on,
they
man.
And
did.
put up over 400 yards of total
And what
offense.
happened?
Come on, man. But
Stafford,
There we go.
okay, hold on.
And
though.
what happened?
Stafford threw for 320 and 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua had 100 yards receiving. Kyron Williams ran
What
for over 100.
happened?
We just talking about what he did in his cold.
Saquon Barkley ran for 200 yards, and the Eagles' offense almost ran for 300 as a team. That's what happened. And they gave
Exactly.
up a missed assignment on the final play, or else we're having a different conversation.
Yes.
But the Eagles played well, but it wasn't the offense that lost that game.
And then Stafford, he grew up in the NFC North, man. It ain't like it's his first time going to Chicago. He played this motherfucker.
he
He played in
did.
Chicago every year.
Yeah.
But he
He's
got
been
to
doing this all
play.
his life.
He got to play home games inside.
I know, but he
All right.
go to
He didn't play every
Chicago
home
once a
game.
year. He
Yeah.
go to Green Bay once a year.
He did.
Come on, man. He got big dubs in the cold. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he do this shit every year.
But not
All right.
the rest of that team.
Yeah, what's the score, Skip?
Hold on. Rams defense. I just watched week 13 and then last weekend at Carolina. And I watched Bryce Young, who is not Caleb Williams. I watched him hang 31 and 31 in those games on the Rams defense. His QBR, I know your favorite stats, QBR. He averaged an 80 QBR in those 2 games, and for the regular season, he had a 48 as an average. So don't tell me the Rams defense isn't gettable. It is
Oh, they are.
gettable.
They,
Yeah.
I said they was
Yeah.
okay,
But
two okay
the
defense.
Panthers had been their kryptonite.
Yeah.
Ongoing.
What'd you say?
Okay. So
Panthers just played
Oh, the
very
Panthers.
well against them.
Yes,
Okay.
Panthers,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was
okay,
their kryptonite. this
even in the
season.
North Pole, I still say Caleb can get to 27, and I don't think Matt Stafford can go above 20. I got 27 to 20 home team.
Ooh,
Yeah.
27 to 20. All right, the chat is going 50-50 split
Ooh,
on
yeah.
that
Gonna be a
one.
good
Okay.
one.
So
Good
it's going to
game.
be, I mean, all these games are going to be great games. I'm going to be riding with the Rams. They are my Super Bowl pick, so I'm going to continue with that. I think offense and defense, they just have better looking on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to continue with that. Let's move on, though. Let's look at A.J. Brown, because this man is a 3-time Pro Bowler and 3 times second-team All-Pro and won a Super Bowl. But is that enough to deal with the diva drama off the field? A.J. Brown, arguably with his crucial drops, was the reason that the Eagles are no longer in the playoffs. So Eagles GM Howie Roseman was asked about A.J., and this is what he had to say.
We talked about this, I think, at the trade deadline last time I talked. It is hard to find great players in the NFL, and AJ is a great player. I think from my perspective, that's what we're going out and looking for when we go out here in free agency in the draft, is trying to find great players who love football, and he's that guy. So I think that would be my answer.
So, Aqib, will A.J. Brown be with the Eagles next year?
You know what Howie Roseman didn't say? He didn't say no. When he asked, "Will you trade AJ?" He did not. The word no did not come out of his mouth. He said, I'm looking for great players.
Yep.
Shit, I might be able to trade him and get another great player.
Yeah.
If I could find a great player for him, that's what I got from it.
I agree.
If I could find a great player for AJ, his ass might be gone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he didn't say no. I don't think he'll be an Eagle next season. I think he gonna find a great player or a great pick that can turn into a great player for AJ, man. I think it's fine and dandy when you winning. I could deal with it. But the moment we not winning, people start pointing fingers. They pointed at Patullo. Shit, they gonna point it at AJ too. That's 2 years in a row you've been a distraction. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's definitely gonna get some fingers pointed at him. And if they go ask Jalen Hurts what you think about AJ, what he gonna say, Skip? Yeah, exactly. He gonna say, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Devontae is proving He could be a number one guy. You bring in somebody who can be a number two. Devontae can handle it, being the number one guy. He make plenty big catches.
He does.
Probably as many as AJ when the game is on.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Except for
Except
other
for
day.
they both dropped.
Yeah.
One of his
That was,
last.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Devontae,
That's
man.
a lot of
Man,
tension.
Got it.
That was high.
a little higher, though.
Devontae got.
He got his
Yeah, you
Got a
expect
little
him to
baby
catch
nuts
that.
a little bit. He
Okay.
he kind
Yeah,
of
he
ducked
seen that
out of
safety
it.
right
Seen
there.
that safety coming. He kind of ducked out of it a little
Yeah.
bit, man. But you know, hey, I ain't no wild out, so I don't know how that shit go.
Give him the benefit to the.
I guess they
None of
get
us
scared
are.
sometimes. They see motherfuckers like
Yeah.
coming through that. I don't know. I ain't never been in
So
that
I
situation.
defense.
But I feel like, man, hey, you trade him late as possible so you can eat that cap, make that cap hit as low as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get great compensation for a guy like AJ because he a fucking baller.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? It's somebody else who feel like, man, look, we AJ away from being a contender.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you get great compensation for him and you just move on, man. Hey, it's part of the business, man. I think it's part of the game, man. So
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be an Eagle next year.
Cody?
Yeah, man, I went back and forth on this one. I hear everything you're saying. I think he will be. With them firing Patullo, I think they're saying, okay, that was the issue.
your cause
Yeah.
all year.
Let's revamp,
try
let's
and follow the
reset.
ball there.
Let's go talk to AJ. Let's give him some time to reset. Everybody talk, take a deep breath. Let's run it back one more time. Let's lock in and see what we can do with this offense. Because even though he's had the distraction and the off-field issues and the cryptic messages and getting on the Twitch streams and saying these different things, and now you have the drops on top of that, he's still produced at a high level. I mean, since he's been there in 2022, he's had over 5,000 receiving yards. He has over 1,000 yards every single year. Now, he only beat it by 3 yards this year, but still, he is producing at a high level. He has 32 touchdowns. He has 3 times in a row second-team All-Pro, and he's been a multiple-year Pro Bowler. So
You've been winning too.
and you want to chip with them, and
chip. You done lost.
He's set records there as a receiver. He's absolutely made a difference and has been instrumental in their success the last 4 years. You can't deny that. But at the end of the day, that's the biggest question. Is the off-field stuff worth the production on the field?
Yep.
I think it is with the Patullo fire. I think that's him saying he's the issue. Let's bring in an offensive coordinator that maybe can handle that a little bit better so Nick Sirianni can take back that leadership role instead of having to be involved with the offense. So I do think AJ's there next year, but I think there's going to be some serious conversations with him this offseason and see if they can get him back on track.
And you ran Patullo right out of town, didn't you?
I didn't run him out of town, Skip.
You've been
Look,
wanting it all year long.
the man's
Cody's
got a
like,
family. I don't ever want to say, hey, fire him, get him out of here. I never want to see someone fail like that, but there's a reality to the business, man. If you're not producing, if you're not putting up those type of numbers, like we just saw the year before with Kellen Moore and the same players I mentioned, they had 10 of their 11 returning starters on offense, and the product went down. And the consistency on offense went down, and it was week 17, week 18. We get to the playoffs, and it still wasn't where it needed to be, and it came back and hurt them in
It's
the end.
bound to go down, though. If you win the chip, man, you got the magnifying glass.
Maybe for the first, but that's the thing is you evolve as a play caller. Okay, everyone's got the book on us. This is what happened. They spent the entire offseason, first couple of weeks, first 4 or 5 weeks, we're getting it figured out. Because with Kellen Moore, they didn't hit the ground running right away either.
Right.
It took time to get consistent. But once you get halfway through the season and you get to the later part of the season, that's your job as an offensive coordinator to evolve and say, all right, you see this shit? Well, now watch this. We're going to run this off of that. And, they set you up for those type of things. They were just too, vanilla, in my opinion. There wasn't enough creativity. They struggled with the 3-and-outs. They were too predictable. And when that happens, obviously he was the fall guy, but I don't disagree with that. I think it was the right decision to move on and find a different offensive coordinator.
Man, I feel like everything you're saying, it makes sense, but when you have a dominant group of players up front, you can be boring and vanilla and still be successful.
Exactly.
So I just feel like it was more on the players than anything because they offense ain't never really been Andy Reid's, or McVay's. They been doing what they doing. They protect the football, run a little bit with Jalen, third downs, get the first down, and make big plays sometimes with A.J. Brown. But my biggest problem and why I don't think that he'll be back, it takes a little time to make a trade, and that friction between A.J. Brown and Hurts, man. It's just too much friction in there, man. It's too much, magnet on magnet, right? Whatever is happening, they not coming together.
Yeah.
They not coming in together. They not speaking to each other. Now you got A.J. Brown beefing with the coach too, Sirianni. He don't take him serious. He laughing in his face and smashing on him on the sideline during the game.
Yeah.
So it's become too much friction, whether it's talking to the media, whether it's on the sideline, whether it's dealing behind the scenes with your quarterback. That's three different things, 3 different people, 3 different staples in this organization that you got friction with. And if I'm the head coach, it's like, bro, it's one correlation here.
Exactly.
It's one thing correlating.
I done been in that boat, man. I'm saying, listen, when you winning this fine and dandy. Once that winning go down, it's like, get them out. It's time to go, bro. I'm telling you. It's time to go. It's perfect. You speaking your mind and all this. You're right when we winning. I'm telling you, man.
When you winning, it's passion.
It's passion.
When you losing,
it's drama.
When you losing, you the bad apple. You a bad seed. I've seen it. The same mindset I took to Denver and I had and made us champions. I got to Tampa and I was labeled a bad seed. Because I like to win.
The same mindset I had when I got to Denver and we winning, it was, let's go, Leave. And then we start losing. This man, Leave, he disagreeing with everybody. Yeah, because this shit trash. I'm just going to tell you it's trash.
But you don't think, like you said earlier in the year when we were talking about AJ when this stuff first came out, hey, dap them up, we're good, let's go, baby. You don't think this offseason they can do that?
And we was winning that
2 years in a row.
But you got that one lead that you press the button and
won their division and went to the playoffs.
They start losing. I'm at least getting tighter. You go to the playoffs and we lose first round and think, get this motherfucker off the lead. Get your ass out.
I'm going to the pound.
Hey, I can get them dog, man.
And you mentioned
and it don't take long.
Yeah.
It do not take long, bro. One first round exit, the shit'll be over with.
Yeah, wow.
Blow up. You got to have a number.
Skip, how you feeling?
I agree with these two troublemakers right here. You guys nailed it. Got to go. I think Howie Roseman was saying between the lines, he's going to go because he wouldn't say
He ain't say no.
No, he didn't say no.
Yeah.
And if I know Howie Roseman, he will figure a way to talk somebody into taking AJ off his hands under the auspices of, hey, this is your difference maker. This is what you need to get you over the top, right?
You can handle them like
You
a
can
Brian
handle
Flores.
it.
Y'all love it. You know what I'm saying?
This is the guy for you.
This the guy for you. You know what I'm saying? His time is just burnt out here.
It's not you, it's me.
The contract is tricky, but if somebody believes that he's it, and he's still in his prime, he's 28, he's played 7 years.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could get 2-3 good years out of him.
Yep.
And Sirianni was pumping him up after the loss the other night, saying he's got the best hands of anybody I've ever coached. Okay, we get that. But watch Howie come away with the pick that he can trade up if he needs to get Carnell Tate out of Ohio State or that kid Tyson, because you've raved about him.
Man,
and
cold.
one of those two is going to come down to where they are close enough where he can go up a little to snatch him. And they'll plug and play, man. Because we've seen what the Ohio State kids have done. You just keep with their JSN and Ibuka. You just plug them in and they can play.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen of Carnell Tate, I don't know what you've seen.
I like it so much.
And there's a couple other guys out there who he might can get a little bit later.
He might.
Bring some in the return game. Guy like Branch from Georgia.
Yeah, there's another one.
SC guy.
Yeah.
He's a
Brody
stud.
from SC. I like Branch from Georgia. I think he's
good.
Zachariah. His game, Zachariah Branch. I think his game going to translate.
He was at SC, then went to Georgia.
Oh, yeah, he had a nice look. I think his game going to translate to one of these nights. Get him the ball.
If they're going to get Tate, though, Skip, I think they got to go above 5 because I think the Giants can take Tate at 5. If they don't take Maui Noah, the tackle from Miami,
Giants gonna take
they're going receiver
I know.
at 5.
I don't see Tate falling that far.
Yeah.
Okay. Aqib has been eloquent about the mentality of the diva receiver because they're all crazy. They're just because they're dependent position. They can't control whether they're going to get the ball or not. And they're always talking. They're always making waves. They're always locker room lawyers. And my man Shannon Sharp always said to me, it's production or tolerance, production, tolerance. And when production starts to fall, then the tolerance is like, wait a second, more trouble than worth, right? He has become more trouble than he's worth because he has not made a Pro Bowl the last 2 years. And if you look hard at his yards receiving per game, they have fallen all 4 years with the Eagles from 88 the first year to 67 last year. It's not just scary dramatic, but it's enough that you say, well, wait a second, they won a Super Bowl a year ago in spite of A.J. Brown to me, because if I look at his production through the playoffs, you talked about the Rams game, it went Green Bay Rams at home, and A.J. did nothing. Against Washington in the championship, the NFC Championship game, he caught 6 for 96. But then in the Super Bowl, he caught 3 for 43 and was pretty quiet. So it's not like they were. Yeah, it wasn't Devontae. It wasn't like we're dependent on AJ to win a chip, right?
Devontae was the one going off.
Devontae.
He looked like the number one.
He definitely did. So last year, AJ's on the bench reading a book, okay, and you kind of put up with it. You say, okay, all right. But after a while, it's like, come on, man. Do we have to put up with this? The quarterback and I've said it 1,000 times to you, they had an off-the-field issue. I thought they had like an uneasy truce, and then it just rears its ugly head during games when he starts dropping balls, and Jalen's like, damn, I don't even want to throw it to you anymore, right?
Lose that
And
confidence.
it screws with your psyche as a quarterback, obviously. If you don't like a guy and then you ultimately don't trust him in a game,
Yeah, trust is the big part.
it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And then he posted that biblical expression from Mark about if you're not welcomed, if you're not listened to, quietly withdraw. Okay. All right. Well, then go. Then all right.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. Withdraw. We'll withdraw for you. Right.
But
Yeah.
them be the most solvable cryptic messages ever.
I know.
Like,
I know.
It's
It's
not
soft,
cryptic.
but
Like you're
then-
posting to the whole world that you're like,
Then you
I
mentioned
really.
the Twitch feed. He's playing Madden, and he's calling his offense a shit show. Well, come on, and you're almost to the playoffs, and it's a shit show. And he's talking about questioning his role in the offense, his involvement in the offense.
Yeah.
And he's saying, don't take me, fantasy players. Don't take me for fantasy. Well, at some point, you just say, okay,
Fuck it.
enough.
Yeah,
Done.
that's
out.
crazy.
Right?
Well, trouble knows trouble. The boys are saying A.J. Brown
Gone.
out of the Eagles over here. And
A
these-
fresh start would be good for AJ.
It would
man.
be.
For sure, both teams.
Yeah.
A new environment, man. A quarterback who you rock with.
Yeah.
Do you-
Go to Baltimore.
he's dying for
You
it.
think it'll be similar like the George Pickens situation?
It'd be very
Steelers,
similar.
Yeah.
going to
Next team
Dallas
AJ
and-
go. The next team AJ go to, he gonna fucking go crazy.
You're
I
probably
promise.
right.
Him and
He gonna
Lamar,
go
what
crazy.
you just
And
said
like
it.
I told you, like
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
know what's gonna happen.
All right.
AJ's still a dog. He just need to change his scenery, man. Get the fuck up out of there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I did want to give a quick shout out to Edmunds for sponsoring the show because selling your car can feel tougher than watching your team lose on a last-second field goal, and you don't want to guess. You want to know your value. That's why I checked Edmunds. Their online car appraisal tool shows you how much your car is worth and even gives you an instant offer. It's free and takes me about 2 minutes, super easy, and it gives me real clarity on my next move even before I'm ready to sell. Edmunds has over 50 years of trusted car shopping advice and unbiased expertise, so you can buy or sell with confidence even if you're just curious. It's smart to keep tabs on your car's value, so selling your car, make sure you're calling the right play. Go to edmunds.com/appraisal. That's EDMUNDS.com. And then now let's get back to the show. So my Niners have ruled out Fred Warner. There was some hope on that for this game, but they ruled him out. But maybe next week, for the NFC Championship. But
What next week?
Oh,
Huh?
I heard
Oh.
that. Damn, Skip.
Skip.
Oh.
Wait,
Skip.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
think that
what are you saying?
Nah.
Skip? Are you gonna do what
I
think
thought
you're
Skip
gonna
was
do?
my friend.
Skip
And I
ain't
was like, you know what?
What
That was
next
so
What?
quick.
That was
Sounds like he.
All right.
With Seattle.
He's throwing shot at Leave. Now me. Who else? Who else? Like Cody? Don't do sweet
Skip.
Cody.
Kinsey, you realize we have picked opposite on every game, and I think we're going to be opposite on these games. I know this.
I know we are. All right.
Skip was about 1-4 last week, so
That's-
you want to go against
No,
Skip.
that's
Yeah.
not-
What, you know what I'm kind of noticing?
wanna go against
Leave
Skip.
knows how to win some money and some dinner. So I'm like,
I've been
all right, riding with
Skip
Leave.
all year, man.
It ain't over yet.
All right. All right, guys. On the other side of the ball, Sam Darnold left practice on Thursday with an oblique injury and is listed
Whoops.
as questionable. So Drew Lock was given first-team reps.
Wow.
So I don't know. I'm feeling a little hope for the Niners. And meanwhile, Brock Purdy has never lost a game in Seattle.
Hello.
He is 4-0 at Lumen Field. Okay. So Cody, I'm gonna start with you. Actually, please don't tell me you're riding with your guy. But I'm gonna go with 49ers Seahawks. What's the score?
I picked Seattle to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm riding with Seattle in this one, man.
With this little oblique injury, what's going on?
I think it's going to be legit. I think it's going to be a great game. This defense for Seattle is legit, and that's the main reason that I'm going with them. I mean, Mike McDonald, that scheme, when you watch it on tape, is just so difficult to diagnose. They show me so many different things that they're
It's better
top
than Kyle
five.
Shanahan?
Huh?
It's better than Kyle Shanahan?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. That's kind of the catch with this right now. But that defense is just so good, man. They're great on third down. They stop the run. They get after the quarterback. They lead the league right now in scoring defense and in third down defense. So they know how to get off the field. They know how to keep you out of the end zone. And they do a good job, too, of, like I mentioned, showing you something pre-snap, changing it post-snap. They consistently keep you confused as a quarterback. And that's the number one thing you can do as a defense when you want to slow down an offense. But, and it's a big but, is when you give Kyle Shanahan 3 opportunities to prepare for the same defense, because this is the 3rd time they're going to play each other this year, and he's already had film twice against them already, when he can diagnose that defense and have a 3rd opportunity to prepare for him, I promise you he's going to dial it up. It is going to be a chess match in this game between Mike McDonald and Kyle Shanahan.
But there's a big but coming here.
There is.
Another
but on the
but.
other side of the ball,
But.
we've talked so much about the other side of the ball too, though. Clint Kubiak, Robert Saleh. This is also going to be a chess match. But everyone talks so much about Seattle and that defense. But don't sleep on the offense, man. They've got weapons. They're quietly 3rd in the NFL in scoring offense. They're averaging 28 points per game.
Yeah.
You got JSN, who you could argue is the number 1 receiver this year. Maybe Puka Nakua's in that conversation too. He had one less game than JSN. They got great weapons around him. They got Cooper Kupp, who's a solid number 2. They got a great combo in the backfield with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. Yeah. They know how to diagnose or how to dial up some looks on offense to put you in bad situations on defense. And then Robert Saleh. I mean, he's done a great job too this year, man. With the injuries that the 49ers have had on defense, that would cripple a football team. There's no chance they're going to the playoffs, especially at the linebacker position, all the guys that have been in and out of that lineup, but they've still found a way to get the job done when it matters most. The numbers aren't great statistically, but at the end of the day, they're getting stops in crucial situations, and they just did it last week against Philadelphia to win the game. So, yeah, I'm going with Seattle on this one, and the X factor, what it's going to come down to is my man Sam Darnold. He's got to protect the football. I think he steps up, makes some big-time plays, and I felt this way before I saw this injury, though, because there's a little bit of some worry there, Skip, because all of a sudden now we're getting close to game time, and now you have an oblique injury that's a non-contact thing, and it takes you out of practice, and it's significant enough for you to be listed as questionable on the report. And if you listen to his interview, he said it's a close to a 0% chance that I don't play. He didn't say there's no chance at all that I'm not playing. I'm going to be in this game. He said it's close to 0. So obviously it's bothering him a little bit, but I think he overcomes it. It's the playoffs. He wants to change that narrative. No, I'm not flipping. I do think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be low scoring like the first 2 have been as well. I got the Seattle winning 17-14.
Lee?
Man, 3rd time's a charm, man. Division game, playoffs. I definitely expected to be a dogfight, man. 2 evenly matched teams like this.
Yeah.
I want to ride with the experience in San Fran, but at the same time, want to ride with the defense in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? But then I look a little bit closer into it. Shit, San Fran really don't got the experience because all the experience is guys is hurt. All the guys who got the experience is not even playing. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm torn. But when it's this evenly matched, it's hard for me to not ride with the defense, man. So I got to go Seattle. I think they healthier. They playing better on defense. Even though San Fran plays great against Seattle on defense, I'm going to ride with Seattle just because the defense, man. It's close as shit. Hey, I got to go defense, man. That's all I know in these kind of games. What's my score, Cody?
Hey.
17-14.
Oh, the boys over here are lying.
Man, dog fight, field goal at the end going to win it, or field goal miss going to win it, one way or the other.
Man, like you said, I like to throw a lot of these stats out the window, especially the regular season stats when you're talking about the playoffs. Even more when you're talking about a divisional game in the playoffs. And this goes beyond this year, man. This rivalry between the Niners and the Seahawks always seemed to be a playoff matchup with one going to the NFC Championship. But that being said, I know the Niners have a lot of injuries, but they got one of their key injured players back, and that's Trent Williams.
They did?
Having him back makes that offense go, gives Purdy a little bit more time. We've seen what they did against Philly's defense, and Philly defense was running number 1 in the league by how they were playing towards the end of the season.
Yep.
So it just allows for so much. It really don't matter who's in there, especially with Kyle. Purdy going to find a way to give him the ball. CMC going to do what he do. And you're going to have guys step up. You know, receivers going to step up like Jawan Jennings and DeMarcus Robinson. Like, who are these guys? 113 yards of Marcus Robinson out the gate, a 60-yarder.
Yep.
And when I look at this matchup, Seattle hasn't scored more than 13 points against the Niners, even though, you know, the Niners only scored 3 on the last game, which I do mention they didn't have Trent Williams And I am going to say that Kyle was really holding the leash on that offense because he knowing what he had to do.
He was
going
playing
into
for the
playoffs.
1 seed.
Nah, they don't even matter.
Yeah, no, he.
Nah,
man.
I'm
Playing
gonna
for the
say, I'm
one
gonna say,
seed.
I'm
That
gonna
defense for
say,
Seattle
I'm
was
gonna
just
say, and
suffocating,
why I'm gonna
man.
say it doesn't matter for the 1 seed and at home for the Niners because they haven't played well like Seattle. They haven't played their best football at home. Like neither has Seattle. Now we've seen the Niners go up there and beat Seattle already early in the season. So the defense is playing pretty well for the Niners. You have to say, even with some pieces in and out of that defense, especially the linebackers. Kendricks came in. He's a vet in that 4-3. He was
Off the couch.
off season. He was sitting with me at broadcast boot camp. We were talking about doing TV.
Was he?
Yeah, he was sitting. We was all at the NFL broadcast boot camp. And then the other guy, I think his name is Wallow. He came in. He could play the run and cover. So they found two, great replacements at middle linebackers. So
Great scheme.
yeah, Salah's
Line up
doing
a
a
great
great
scheme.
job. Exactly. And then the DBs are playing well. And what you guys call him? Smith? What's his nickname?
JSN.
JSN.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
like,
he had an 80-yard game last time, but for the most, we keep him under wraps in Frisco. So I got the score pretty close to y'all, and I'm going to go with the 13 points that Seattle been doing. It's going to be 3 for 3, 13 points. But I got the Niners scoring a dub.
Wow.
So I got dub, 13 Niners on the road,
Wow.
to go to the NFC chip.
And I
the
tell you
score,
what,
13?
What was the
before
score?
you go, Skip,
20 to 13.
hey, Lenore been doing a great job.
Great
up there.
job. That's what I was gonna mention, Lenore.
I don't know if he caught a pass on him yet.
Yeah.
By that.
Either
Strapping
matchup.
him.
So he wanted to shadow him last game. He didn't shadow him.
Yeah.
But every time he guarded him, he had no catches. I wouldn't be surprised if Lenore shadowed him this game and left to right and have his first real shadow game.
yeah.
I'd be looking forward to that.
All right. So TJ's got Kinsey's back on this one, right?
thanks, DJ.
There you go. So when I heard that Sam Darnold had pulled his oblique muscle, oblique?
He don't want to smoke.
Oblique is another word for obscure, because this is an obscure muscle, a stomach muscle.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, he said he was just throwing, not against the defense, just throwing passes in practice. And all of a sudden you say, oh, I pulled my oblique.
Burst
You
it.
did? And I'm starting to wonder, did you just make an excuse? Just
Stop.
plan an excuse?
Skip.
Just to make
Building
sure.
it in, huh?
Yeah,
Skip,
build it in.
stop.
Because that's the one. The oblique is so obscure that you can't diagnose it or validate exactly.
Man.
No, it's hard. Even with an MRI, you can't. It's just so
Throw that.
obscure.
I mean, you get a little.
I pulled my oblique. Really? I've never
I
heard.
threw 3 picks in that game because my oblique.
No, come
He
on.
actually
See, but
threw
the thing with
4
that
against
oblique-
the Rams, right?
The thing with that oblique though, Skip, you could shoot that motherfucker and get through the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He's playing.
You're gonna feel it a little bit, but it's not.
I have-
It's not. You can't. It ain't like it stop you from playing.
In all my years, maybe I forgot one, but I don't ever remember a quarterback pulling his oblique in practice. I just never. It's like weird.
Now you got one.
Strange.
Didn't somebody just do
Okay.
it this year?
Maybe he just said, I need an excuse just in case I come apart.
No, Sam's
'Cause
not doing that.
You said earlier,
Yeah,
the
you know Sam
pressure's on
personally. That's
Sam
not his character.
Darnold, right?
That's not
all
his
about
character.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, the most pressure of any quarterback in the postseason just because he's
No,
been,
not any quarterback.
well, but I mean just
Josh
because
Allen.
well, but that,
got the most pressure on him out of any
this is
quarterback.
negative pressure. People expect him to unravel because he has,
The negative, yeah.
right? He led the NFL in turnovers, right?
Did.
And he's the first player on a 1 seed since 1978 to lead the league in turnovers, since
Yeah.
Terry Bradshaw did for the Steelers.
Yeah.
They went on to win the Super Bowl. Okay, so I kind of liked it that he might be building an excuse because maybe he's trying to take a little pressure off himself because I just think he
Yep, you're
needs
so
to
funny.
stay out of the way in this game because he stayed out of the way at Santa Clara in the last game. His QBR was 37, so it wasn't any good, but he had no picks and no fumbles,
Yep.
right? Okay, so that's how you do it because, Kinsey, my issue with your team is the Seahawks they're just better than you are. And in part because of all the injuries, but I look at this, and you can say Kyle gets 3 cracks, and I get that. And Kyle's really good at what he does. But your offense totaled 173 against them in a 1 seed battle, right?
many rushing
173.
yards?
What's that?
How many rushing yards?
Well,
Not much.
Seattle had 180. That's the
Exactly.
problem. Seattle had 180 rush yards, and McCaffrey ran 8 times for 23 yards.
Exactly.
And he caught 6 for 34 yards. because I don't know if anybody's noticed, but that Nick Eamon-Worry, the second-round
He's a good
pick out of
football
South
player,
Carolina.
man.
Okay, the reason I know him is that he bullied my Sooners and my Vanderbilt Commodores the year before. I mean, just flat out bullied them, where he just took the game over. You're like, who is that?
Yeah, he's a good football player.
And he goes 6'3", 220, and ran 4.38. Okay, he's just a stud, and he's smart, and he's crafty, and they're putting him on McCaffrey, and he's the difference maker on McCaffrey. He makes it hard. And then the other thing that amazes me about Kyle, he is the most creative run game strategist I've ever seen. Because when they are cooking in their heydays where they're going to the Super Bowl, the run schemes are just like, damn, motion everywhere.
Those little bow motions they
It's
do
like-
with
like-
use
yeah.
check.
That's new shit.
That's
Okay.
another.
It looks like old school wing T too, Skip. It's got that old little quick
Like
foot
you finna
motion.
run option off that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
you can run so many different plays off of
So
it.
this year in yards per carry, they were 3.8. That ranked 24th in the league. So Kyle's doing it upside down. I don't know how he's doing it with mirrors.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have Purdy for a long time, and Mac Jones played very well.
He did.
Yeah.
It's a Kyle thing. It's just Kyle's so good. However good your team can be, they will be that good in this game.
Yeah.
But the other team is just going to run it down your throat, and their rush defense is #1 in the league. So you can't run it anyway. Here's you can say this is an obscure stat, but you'll laugh at this one. But there's a stat about yards under expected. I know this is like 5th level, but yards under expected for a running back. McCaffrey was dead last in the league at -180. So they would project his yards for the game, and he kept coming in below because they're not running the ball at all.
But
the way
that's
they
just
used
rushing.
to.
But
It's
I
just
mean,
rushing.
Yeah. Look,
to me,
he's such a dual threat though as a receiver.
he's a more dangerous receiver than a runner to me, because you can split him out, line him up, and he will make that catch
Yeah.
he made on the ball with the wind where
the double
yeah,
pass.
Jennings,
Jawan Jennings over his
but
head.
Jennings
Yeah.
said, I thought it was too far.
There's some receivers that don't make that
No,
catch. Skip.
Right.
Yeah,
They can't
because
track the ball like that.
He had to go both. He looked here, and then he swung and looked back and went here and caught it.
2 plays before, too, he set that up. They ran the same end
did.
around 2 plays later. This time they do a little quick reverse. Yeah, that
He's
was
really good.
That's what Shanahan does.
Okay, but they put Eamon-Worry on him
Yeah.
out of the backfield, and it's just hard on him because the guy's a stud. So I don't see where you go except with Kyle. So can Kyle figure out how to score 17? I believe he can. I'll give him 17.
Okay.
But I'm going to give Seattle 20. So I'm going 20 to 17 because in the end you'll just sit back and say they're just better. But Sam's got to stay out of the way. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
We can cook that up then. We're going to load the box. We got to stop that run. Obviously, they ran all over us. You got to
They did.
force him downfield. I don't think Sam Darnold's making up his oblique, so we're going to force him to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And if he's hurting, it might struggle. And then we need
He ain't gonna feel
guys.
that
You
shit.
also got Kyle Juszczyk, which most fullbacks you just ignore if they not blocking.
Yeah, but they started throwing
He
it
was
to him.
big
Yeah, I know.
in that
That's 'cause-
Philly.
'cause Kittle went down.
big
Yeah, they
first
started
downs
getting him
'cause Kittle
involved.
went down. So
Yeah.
you know he
Caught
could play
2 check
H-back,
downs.
fullback. Yeah, for 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
I need them yards.
Whoop-de-doo.
I need them yards.
It's 2
Important
check downs,
first
bro.
downs. It's like a
Blocking
run,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or better.
And Skip, you call it.
Use check will not be a factor as a receiver. in
Look,
this
if
game.
I'm my fullback coming
Block-
to catch
do
a
your
20-yard
job.
pass,
Hey,
look, if
do
my
your job,
fullback,
bro.
if my fullback come in and catch a pass for 20 yards, I'm up. I'm winning. I'm going to the
do your
senior
job.
with that.
Block for CMC,
Double.
bro. That's your. You come on a little bubble
They gotta
motion.
use everybody.
Kick out,
They
block,
gotta use
bro.
everybody.
Have your mind on
and
that.
once
He
you
ain't
think
gonna
it's
do
just
much
going
in
to
this pass
CMC,
game.
that's when Kyle throw an angle route to the fullback. For 20
And
yards.
Skip, you call it stay out of the way, but in my opinion, in that game against the 49ers, he just did what he needed to do to win. Protect the football. You didn't need to be the Superman that game.
ran
You
for
didn't need to
180.
you didn't need to make the big play, let the run game work,
Okay.
make the throws when you need to, get a couple third down
But
conversions.
we need to put the
and then
pressure
you win
to
the
make
game.
him
Yeah.
make
You
those
don't
big
want to give them extra possessions with Shanahan and Purdy
Yep.
and CMC. But the week prior, he did have to go out there and make plays to win the game. I know he put them in a bad position in the first place with some of those interceptions, but against the Rams in overtime, he made big-time throw after
He did.
big-time throw and then had a 2-point conversion to win the game.
No,
So he's shown you that he can do both in these big-time situations.
Don't forget they threw that interception going in the score where CMC bobbled the ball. It would have been a much closer game
I always
if he
say
didn't
that.
bobble that ball.
Yeah, it got tipped.
the lucky
It got
pick.
tipped at the line.
But we
Got tipped at
also
the line.
gave
He
up
made a hell of a
3rd
play on
and
defense and
17,
picked it.
and
Yeah,
we
he
were
picked it off the
It was.
bobble.
And it's Kubiak third time preparing for San Fran and that Robert Saleh defense too. So
Yeah.
he's been slow. They've been averaging 28 a game. He's been scoring 13, right?
Yeah.
He's been scoring 13 against the Niners.
Yeah.
Stop playing with Kubiak. Watch him have some new shit dialed up his damn self.
Yeah, I don't think they go for 180, and they're going to have to go for 180 to win because one missed tackle on the edge. You know, Lenore was getting hampered because he missed that tackle late in the game that went for a touchdown. So I think he
gonna have to
back.
make that tackle this week.
Exactly, he's gonna have to make that tackle.
What's your score?
Okay, so my score, I'm gonna go with low scoring like Lee, but I'm gonna switch it. So I'm gonna have 17-14 Niners.
Okay.
Of course, I'm gonna ride with the Niners, and I'm actually shocked with the chat. I was thinking there's gonna be heavy Seahawks. We actually only have 55% Seahawks, so that's pretty even there. I'm gonna write in my score here, but
say, Skip, that you rather have the Seahawks on the road, right?
They're better on the road.
They're better on the road.
No, I hear you. Although they have won 5 in a row at home, but on the road they're 12 of the last 13, which is
crazy.
That's insane to me. Have you ever heard of that? My God.
So Skip and I are disagreeing about on every level today. So let's see on this last game, okay? Yeah, we got one more game here, right? The Houston Texans are ranked #1 in total defense, and we just watched this defense dominate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans head into Foxborough on Sunday, which you've said is very difficult to play in, to take on young star Drake May and the Patriots' top 3 total offense. And it was just announced that Nico Collins has been ruled out officially. So I do have a lot of questions surrounding this Houston's offense, especially what I saw from C.J. Stroud last weekend. So TJ, Texans, Patriots, who wins? What's the score?
Man, my dog Nico out. Is Gonzalez out too? For the Patriots, because he got concussed last night.
Vrabel last said that he anticipates him playing. Is the last thing I saw.
I mean, because he's a hell of a quarterback. He can strap one side.
Let me see if there's any update on that.
Like my dog, Pastor Tan. Texans on a 10-game win streak. I know Lee hate them streaks. But just seeing what they did on defense, man. C.J. Stroud and that offense did everything they could to lose that game.
They did.
They tried to lose that game as best as they could. And the defense was like, nope, we'll score twice on defense. I know one was late at the end of the game, but still, the biggest play of that game was that sack fumble when he picked up and scooped and scored. That just blew the game open. And then young Woody Marks ran in for a touchdown later that kind of blew the game open. But, man, to have all those turnovers from your offense and you still hold Aaron Rodgers, that Pittsburgh offense, to what they held them to win that game, man, it's amazing. I really can't go against them, man. I can't go against them. They 3-7 against the run, so you can run the ball on them. And we all know the Patriots, that's their bread and butter. Run, play action with May, let him make a play here or there in crunch time and see if we can win this game, right? Vrabel's not asking May to do everything. They only scored 16 points, 17 points last week against the Chargers. So I'm going to go with the Texans. I got the Texans.
Wow.
And especially if C.J. Stroud could get the snap and stop throwing interceptions in the red zone. Get the snap, man. Just get the snap, bro. Man, get the snap. Don't do a flea flicker and try to throw the ball when somebody's in your face. Just don't turn the ball over, CJ, and we guaranteed a win damn near. And I really love how that secondary is clicking, man. They got this brotherhood in that secondary, probably among the whole defense. But that secondary, they hype each other up. They give gratitude when somebody else make a play. They give gratitude to the other guys. They as tight as we was. And when you tight like that off the field, that shit just rolls right over to on field, man. Everybody making plays. And they got a brotherhood within that defense, especially within that secondary. I just don't see them getting beat. They got a more playoff experience than the Patriots do, and especially Drake May being a young quarterback. Like I said, if C.J. Stroud could just get the snap and kneel it. Shit, you ain't got to do nothing with it. Hand the ball off and kneel it.
Kneel it, I'm
we gonna be good. So, Marks is, he didn't have a great first half of the season, but, he told him for 5.9 yards per carry, and Chubb, he come back dooring them with 4.85. So run the ball, play defense, and you'll find yourself in the AFC Championship game. Don't turn the ball over. I still haven't it been a close one. So my final score is 19-13 Texans.
Christian Gonzalez.
You don't like the
he is
what?
Cleared.
Cleared.
Cleared. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, run the ball, play defense, kneel that motherfucker. Don't do nothing. Stroud, golly.
You don't like the Patriots, right? You don't believe in them because you picked the Chargers last week, right?
Hey, like my dog say, I believe in defense.
Okay.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
That pass rush, that
New
interior.
England's got a good defense.
They got
Yeah.
a good defense.
They're-
But who
they're
got
fourth in scoring
the
But
better defense?
This defense that
These is one of a
Texans is
kind.
playing with,
They-
man, I went back and looked at it. I know I said
They're pretty scary.
earlier in the week, I like these Patriots. I went and watched that game, and I don't see how the Patriots do anything against this defense. These DBs is perfectly matched up. Patriots got some wideouts now. They got Booty
do.
over here. They got Diggs over. They got some good guys.
They do.
Them boys gonna get strapped on Sunday. Like
Yeah.
this is a great matchup for the Texans defense in my opinion. They great against the run. They get a lot of sacks. The Patriots give up hella sacks.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? It's
They
just,
do.
it's just everything just match up
Matchups.
well for the Texans, man. And they run game is coming to life. They had 134 last game. 164 last
They
game.
did.
134 the week before. So
Yep.
it's coming to life. 120 the game before that. So
They did.
They're starting to run the ball. This is a time of the year where you want to run the ball,
Yep.
play defense. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I don't think CJ can have a worse game than he had last week.
Agreed.
It can't
Yeah.
get no worse than
It
that.
It actually doesn't.
Go get 4 field goals, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get
it.
to the 40, get 4 field goals, and you'll win this game. I think it's going to be something like 18 to 10.
Lee, what we should say?
A lot of field goals.
Give us 10.
Right.
Yeah, give us 10.
Give us 10.
I say 18.
That's where they at.
18-10. Texans, man. I think they got the D-line. Drake May been getting himself out of trouble with his
He has.
legs.
That's
Yeah.
He's been getting himself out of
That's
trouble.
going to be the X factor.
But I
on
don't
this
think
game.
he's going to get himself out of trouble versus this D-line. They like the Broncos. They got great rushers. They got disciplined
Discipline.
guys
Yep.
inside. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell they practice like this. They got a defensive coach who was a linebacker.
He was.
He grew. He must have got on D-line. Stay in your fucking rush lane. He must have did that shit so much in his career. You could tell he do it in practice because that's how they rush. So Drake not going to be able to get himself out of trouble with his legs this game. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of sacks. I see a lot of pressure on him. I see a few turnovers. 18-10, man. I think the Texans going to get it done.
Let's get a shout out to their backers, too. I know the secondary and the D-line get a
man.
lot of attention, but Henry Toll and Al Shahir,
Oh.
Hey,
them boys can cover, they can hit,
and that's another part of the
and
matchup.
they discipline.
That's another part
For
of the
them
matchup.
running backs.
Hunter
The
Henry.
Patriots been going crazy, throwing it to their backs.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
And these
Stevenson
guys gonna
out
be
of the backfield.
Matching everything.
These guys gonna be matched up with them guys.
Yeah.
Great cover linebackers, man. I think it's just a great.
But finally, the streak, you're over that?
They gonna have one more game this week.
Okay.
Then they gonna have to come to Denver.
Yeah.
Then that's when it's gonna.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gonna be over with.
They'll lose to Buffalo the following
That's
week.
what, it's
Buffalo
gonna, it's gonna
at
catch up
Houston.
to them.
At Houston, they'll get a home game. Yeah.
Ooh, okay,
It's
Cody.
gonna be in Denver.
Does that mean you're riding with the
That streak
Texans
gonna
too?
get popped.
You're right with the Texans?
No, I'm not. Everything they said is true, though. And I'll just kind of real quick. I really like this Patriots offense. I know they've gotten a lot of shit this year because the question's been, well, can they do it against good opponents? Can they do it against great defenses? I think the secret weapon for them is their play caller. I think Josh McDaniels, with the experience he has, because he's gone up against great defenses.
Yes.
He went up against Legion of Boom in the Super Bowl. He's gone up against some very good teams, and he's found ways to exploit them and come up with a game plan to put their offense in good position.
And you played for Josh.
And I played for Josh, and I love the way that he calls games, and I love how he's always one step ahead as a play caller. Shit, Skip, he's 2 or 3 steps ahead as a play caller. He already knows what he's going to do. If we get in second and short or second and long, if we get a first down, this is my next 3 calls. This is what I'm doing on our first third down. He just always has a plan, and you can see that translate over to Drake May with the confidence that he's playing with right now on the offensive side of the ball. He's in the discussion right now for MVP. I think Stafford wins it, but Drake May has done a hell of a job this year, and a big part of that is because of Josh McDaniels. I think they can run the ball this week. I like their 2 backs with Ramondre Stevenson and Henderson. McDaniels does a good job of finding different ways to get them involved in the run game, and then he'll find them in the pass game. Throw a corner route to Stevenson, throw a quick screen, or get a swing route to Henderson, get him with his speed out in space, which he does a great job of extending plays. So I really like what they're doing on offense. It's not going to be easy. D'Amico Ryans, that defense has taken on his identity. Same with what the Patriots have done with Vrabel. There's 2 coaches that were former players, and you can tell they play tough and they're relentless. But I think the Patriots have a great game plan this week. They protect their 2 rookie offensive linemen against this pass rush. And like I said, I think Drake May has to be the X factor with his legs.
You can run,
he has,
you can't
but
hide.
You get some chips. You get a couple tight end blocks. Let's go some 7-man pass pro. I know you still got to win one-on-one, but even if everything's covered, I think there will still be a couple rush lanes. Don't underestimate Drake May's legs, man. He ran for 450 plus this year, and he can extend plays, though. He hasn't played a defense like this. I get that, but they also, in my opinion, do give up some plays. I know they got after Josh Allen in that game against the Texans, but he had a couple plays where he could take off and run. That's something that they've been susceptible to as a quarterback taking off. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. But I have Patriots winning this game 20-17.
Hey, speaking of Josh Allen, real quick. Josh McDaniels. You know who else he got ready for at one time?
Ooh.
Them 2015 Broncos. He had no answer for that shit. His saving grace was to just fucking throw it up the ground. They safeties is hurt. Just throw that shit up the ground. That ain't no game plan.
That's why I said the Seahawks game. I didn't say that.
He went up against that shit. He ain't had no answer for that shit.
Yeah.
So when I decided last night to pick the Texans in this game, I thought I would be the only man in this group.
Yeah.
Why do I already skip? I already wrote down Texans for you.
Did you?
You haven't even answered. I wrote it down.
Okay. And I thought that you were going to go against me and we'd be 4 for 4, right, where you'd pick against me. But you are picking New England, I think.
I am.
Right? Okay, good.
I am.
All right. So, but when I woke up and heard Nico is out, Nico's just a stud, and yet quietly almost on Monday night, Christian Kirk went pretty crazy.
Well,
he caught 8 for 144. And
All you need is 2 guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. And those kids from Iowa State, you and I have been talking about them. They're both all
Higgins
of
is a
them.
stud, man. He's going to be a good player, man.
Higgins and Kirk is enough.
When he develops.
They can get you some field goals.
Higgins and
Got Schultz at tight end.
yeah, and Hutchinson, and then little Jalen Knoll, a kick returner, but he can catch a few. And then my old guy from Dallas, Dalton Schultz, is okay. He'll catch a few.
Yeah.
And this defense, I think it has a chance to make an all-time statement.
They're nice.
Hey, it might not be just this year, but maybe next year or the next or all together.
No, it don't happen like that.
Hey, but you can make a case where you're it.
They don't lose 3-4 guys. It's just
okay. All right.
business.
But you have a chance right now to say you're a top 10 all-time defense or maybe even top 5. So I know these teams because I was around these teams. But the 85 Bears, who was their quarterback, Jim McMahon, he was just a game manager. He was okay. And then the 2000 Ravens, Trent Dilfer. He was kind of a failed high pick, but he became just a game manager, just a guy. And then finally the 2002 Bucks. Brad Johnson was not bad, but not great. And with Gruden there, he just sort of game managed, and they leaned on the defense. C.J. Stroud is better than all 3 of those guys I just mentioned. My point is, I don't know what happened to him on Monday night because he was going into that game 2-2 in playoff games and had thrown 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, lost no fumbles. So that was completely out of character for him. And I can't explain it unless maybe he thinks I'm going up against Aaron Bleepin Rodgers on Monday Night Football in a big game, and maybe I tried too hard. I don't know, but I think it was a one-off, and I think he's going to be good enough to win this game against New England at New England. Because listen, Drake May is going to have a hard time looking like an MVP candidate in this game. And,
Yeah.
will.
and
That's
listen,
fair. That's fair.
Josh McDaniels is going to have a hard time looking like a genius in this game. Hard time.
I agree.
It's just
It's
hard.
not going to be easy.
Hey, that Bullock kid from USC, the safety, is
Kalen.
God.
He should have been an all-pro.
Hey,
He's a
he
stud,
should have
man.
been. He's a stud.
Should have been all-pro.
He
in
will
my
take
opinion.
the football away.
He will
is
take it away. Were
constantly
you
around
throwing
the
pick
ball.
6, Aaron's last
Yeah.
throw,
Should have been
right?
all-pro for real.
He said
Yeah.
he was going to get a pick when they was coming on the field.
Yeah, and
get a pick,
Stingley
take
and
it
Lassiter
free.
and Petrie, they're just
Petrie. Yeah,
Petrie.
Petrie's a damn
Petrie
good
is the
football
leader.
player, too.
Yeah, he
Or
is.
that
He's the
defense.
leader.
Or that secondary.
Yeah, he kind of plays slot
Strong
corner.
safety,
yeah.
slot.
Yeah, but
Got
slot safety almost. But the point is, they're every level. You talked about it. Every level is big time, all time to me. So this is just, they can go win with their defense and with CJ just playing okay, just playing clean football. If you can just play clean football, the defense is going to win this game. I
He
got
doesn't
used
feel
to
that way about the Broncos.
Yeah.
He gonna be saying the same.
I'm
He gonna be saying the same shit next week. He gonna be saying the same
Yeah, that's
shit next
crazy.
week.
The difference this week, though, is I think New England's offense is a lot better than Pittsburgh's offense.
Oh,
Pittsburgh
I'll
couldn't
give you that.
capitalize.
Learned yet.
But Pittsburgh couldn't capitalize off those turnovers. They only had a field goal off of all those turnovers. New England, in my opinion, can capitalize off those, even if it is 3. 3 points matter.
But he's not
against
gonna
this
do
defense.
that.
I don't
Cody
know.
still ain't
Skip.
learned, man.
What?
You
This
make
is the
the
defense.
offense.
The offense is for the selling tickets at the.
But we're acting like New England.
This is the
This is sell
playoffs now.
tickets.
New England's-
This is the defense time.
New England's fourth in scoring defense. They can stop the run. They got two good players in the middle of that defense. Milton Williams is a stud. That kid's a freak in the middle of the defense.
no,
they
they
got
got a
players
good
on the
defense.
outside. They got
do.
Christian
The
Gonzalez
Patriots
can
got a good
cover.
defense.
They've got some good players, man. They
got a
can
good
fly around, and it's not like this is all offense.
You
for
notice
New
I
England.
went with
But
Seahawks
I'm
defense, Broncos defense, Texans defense. I'm
Yeah.
riding with the straight. I'm going defense, man. And then in the Rams game, it's
Finally,
really a
because-
toss up. Hey, both of their defense.
For some
kinda,
reason, the week of the Steelers, though,
Pick the better scoring
you lapsed on that.
No,
judgment, right?
I just want to go against the grain. I ain't bet. If I really like it,
Yeah,
I'ma
yeah,
bet.
yeah. That's
And
fair.
I bet. I ain't. I knew the
Man,
Texans
I'm
was
gonna
go
say
whoop their
D'Amico
ass.
What-
looked at
what
our
you have as a
defense. Say,
score?
I need a
20
defense.
to 17.
2017.
Ooh, that's really-
Yeah,
That's
that's an
an-
ass kick.
That's an ass beating.
Yeah.
2017 shit.
This is one that I've been wishy-washy on, and it's hard to say because when I watch that Texan defense, I am afraid. Genuinely afraid.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's so dominant. It's so
Legit.
scary. So I've been riding with the Pats throughout the playoffs, and I had made that prediction last week, and I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
But this is the one I feel shaky on, and it's going to be a really tough game, but I'm going to go 14-17,
What?
and I'm going to have the Pats win.
Okay.
The Pats?
17-14.
Fuji at the end.
17-14.
Man, I feel
Pats.
shaky about all these games. That's how good it is. Like that's
been
how
a great
evenly
playoff.
matched
It's
these
been a
teams
great
it is.
playoff.
It's
a great
so
playoff.
evenly matched.
There's not one game that you can come in saying, all right, this is going to be dominated by this team, and it's just they have no shot.
Broncos
And I love
country,
that.
stand the
Man.
fuck up.
You already know what time
Man,
it is.
let's go, man.
All right, you guys, we got a packed weekend of
Broncos.
football. Playoff football is going to be intense and fun, and we'll be back here on this couch on Monday. We will see you there. Whoop, whoop.
Whoa.